everyone, and hi to those of you watching this back. If you give me a second, I just got to adjust the lighting and get this all set up so that we're good to go. So I can't do this until we press live, unfortunately. So bear with me, guys, bear with me. We are doing part 3 of this picture from Mysteria today. So it's this book here by Anastasia, Elly, Koldereva. That's what we're doing. So if you're watching this back, this is a live chat with a live stream, and you can open the chat box up, but you do have to sign in. Hi Robin, hi Anne. And I had a question this morning, and I haven't been able to get back to it yet, but you have to sign in if you're watching this back, sign into your account, open the screen up, and then you'll see an option in the corner. It says live chat. So you open the live chat, you click live because it should be on top chat, but you want live chat, and then you can follow along with the chat that's been. Hi everyone, hi Sing, hi Katrina, hi Josie, hi Darla, hi Clinton, hi Faith. You got a YouTube notification. That's very touch and go, isn't it? You never know when they're going to give you a notification. So if you're also watching this back, I also give it like 5 minutes at the beginning to say hello to everyone. Hi, Mum. So that I, can say a good hello and welcome over. So yes, today we're doing this one. We're going to, well, hopefully finish her off. We'll see how the back gets on. Hi, Alejandra. Yeah, Faith, I had to do that. I had to, funnily enough, click off people's, your little bells. I had to click off and then click back on. Hi, Melody. Ah, thank you. Yeah, we did the fish on the last stream. Hi, Pamela, if I didn't say hello. And then the stream before, we did the hair, we did the body and the face. Last stream we did the beads, we did the fishies, and I've just got to get this completely right, and then we should be okay. Hold on. Thank you, Clinton. Yeah, I had a ton of fun doing those fish. So hopefully that the settings are okay, that it's showing up nice and vivid and bright on your screens. And there will be a slight blur at some points, because what it tends to do, what I've realised, is that if you've got a portrait especially, it focuses on the portrait. That's okay. Thanks for joining, Robin. Hi, Starbucks. Hi, Be Bright. It focuses on the face, and then it will blur the little things around the illustration. Hi, Miss Spark. Oh, Miss Sparkle, Jodie Pickle. How are you, lovely? I hope you're okay. I like the name, but that's going to confuse me to hell. I'm so used to seeing Pickle. Hi, you lax me. I'm sitting here thinking, oh no, I'm going to be saying Miss Sparkle now is Pickle. So Pickle, usually our Pickle, is Miss Sparkle. I hope you're okay, Jodie, after everything that happened. All right, so what I wanted to do was do the have a little go at the seaweedy type of underwater plants in some of the Copic colours. Now, I did write them down of the colours that I was kind of edging towards here. Not necessarily going to use all of those. I'm just sort of having a little, little think. I did have a little delivery of another 5 or 6 today, which was, yeah, I did. Let me show you. These are the colours that I got today. So I'm building them up. They're going to take a while, but that's all right. That's fine. I think I got E01, or was it R01? I can't even remember. Sam, get your head in the game. Okay, so these were the ones that came today. So now I'm collecting the Copics up, each month. So the other day I got 4, and they were, I'll tell you which colours. I'm trying to build up all the skin type tones, and then I'll move my way down. So the other day I bought Y01, YR01, E74, E01, and E30. They're the ones I bought. They came last week. And then this morning, these ones came. So this is E17, E13, R21, E4 zeros, YR4 zeros, and R01. So when you look at them all together, it's just like magic, isn't it? You're just like, oh, you just love the look of them. I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is happening to me? I get so much satisfaction in art materials, I'm telling you. And I'm starting a sketchbook. That's my new goal. Hi, Bella. Hi, Shirley. I do. Hi, Selena. Hi, Joey. Hi, anyone that I may have missed. So I'm going to grab the colours that I want to have a little look at and see whether or not it's what I want on my illustration. I kind of do want them there. So I'm just going to grab the ones that I'm edging towards. So if you bear with me. So the YG63 is the kind of nice mossy type colour. Hi, Stephanie. And then I was looking at another sort of mossy colour. So you can even add in a brighter tone as well. There's different ways you can do it. You don't have to go along with, you know, just the bog standard. You can go with a light and a dark, and then I can add an even darker shade in. So it all depends on what I'm sort of looking at. So the YG67 is a little tad darker. So these types of colours will be nice. Hiya, Mo. Thank you. It's all right, Shirley. It takes time. It does take time. I mean, my goal is as many as I can get that month, I will. Hiya, Christine. Thank you, lovely. The creepy eyes of a fish. Aw. See, I don't actually look at their creepy eyes like that. But yeah, they're all right. I quite like doing those. But yeah, that was the goal, is each month, you know. Yeah, but the thing is, you know, it kind of gives you a heads up, these charts, don't they? And then you look and you think, okay, so like next month, I want to focus on some reds. And then next month, I want to focus on some blues. And you kind of go, I quite like the idea of looking at a chart and thinking, okay, which ones can I get this month? So say you've got a goal of getting, I don't know, 7 or 8. You can look at them and think, right, so I'm going to write them down. So that's what I've been doing. So get yourself a bit of card or a bit of paper. And then I've put down like how much it costs me each time. So I know, you know, roughly my budget. And then I write down a list of the next lot. So the next lot are going to focus on these, you know, these tones. So I've gone through, and then each time you just sort of tick off on your list, fill your hex chart in, and then next month you know where you're going again. And it's just, you know, you just kind of do that, and I just kind of write down each time what I want. And also another little reference for you is if you're looking at Copics and you don't know where to start, like Bailey J, so she gives you a good reference on very pale, peachy skin, tanned, edge into like a sort of Asian Indian, edge into a light Afro-Caribbean, and then a dark Afro-Caribbean. So she gives you a good reference. And that's also another thing. You can go through and think, okay, so out of these, cross off which ones you've already got, and whatever you're left with, you get them. So I can cross them off now because that's what I bought on the last one. So kind of just have a little go. Hiya, Dash. How are you feeling now? Yeah, it does help. The hex charts do help. So Dash has not been very well, and we did send out our prayers last week, Dash, but I hope you're a little bit better. Right, so let's get a piece of card. Hopefully the lighting is okay. Melody, if you need to fall to sleep, my dear, you fall asleep. That's what, you know, that's what I can, if I can help with, I will. Dash, take your time. Rest up as much as possible. Hiya, Alina. That's okay, you like away. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, anyone that I may have missed. Huge welcome. Happy, what are we on? Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Okay, so I'm going to get a piece of card. And remember, if there's anything at me, just pop it in caps. Ian, how are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're okay. Hi, CD. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hey. Okay, so I've grabbed a piece of card. That's okay. You lurk away. Hi, Morticia. Your holy siesta. That sounds good to me. All right, so you can give a little swatch of which the colours are. So that's a very light green. That's a mid green. So these are pretty much on point to what I'm looking for, and that's a darker green. So they are, G21 is the lightest, the mid one is YG63, and Moss is YG67. How you had cut off from the outside world, Ian. Oh no. I wondered where you'd been. But I haven't seen him. Anyone that I've not seen. So Linda, I hope Linda L. Ryan's okay as well. Hi, Janice. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Janice. Kimberly, that's okay. You lurk. That's okay, Danny. Hi, Danny. Hi, Kimberly. Right, so I am going to just jump in now because otherwise I'll be sitting here chatting forever, and I haven't even put Copics paper yet. So don't forget, I am very new to Copics, so I am learning, but I've been watching a ton. I've been reading up a ton. I've been getting my little research bits into what I can do, and hopefully I can pull it off. Right, so if I need to adjust any lighting on the page, I will do that now. And if you need me to go in any more, then I will do. But I think that's a good enough sort of distance. Because if I go further, you're going to be too far out. If I go in any more, you're going to blur. So a good sort of, I think this is about a good distance. If I go in any more, it starts to blur the fish. And that's what happened when I had a good look about my last one, because someone said to me it blurred. And I said, oh my gosh, you know, I don't know how. It's because I go in too close and then it starts to blur it out. And I was like, oh no. So hopefully it's not blurred on your screens. Right, so first of all, I'm going to go with the darkest. I'm just going to try and test out on one. I'm going to go for one of the bigger ones. So we put your bit of card or your plastic or whatever behind. Protect your page because they do bleed through. And then I'm going to go with the darkest shade first, which is YG67. So I'm thinking like on the underneath. So as I said, I've been watching Copic videos on YouTube, and I've been watching people's work and how they use them and the best ways to use them. And this is what I'm going to say that I've kind of got a good gist of what to do. Hi, Lisette. And I think that I'm pretty confident enough to come on streams now and you know, give them a good bash and a good whirl. So all I'm doing is using the very end of the brush tip. Now, if I go in any closer, do tell me if it blurs, guys, because I'm relying on you to let me know. So I'm going to have to just move the camera down. So you're going to go for a bit of a ride for a second. And just bear with me. I'll bring you over this way. Let me know how it is. Is it blurry? Is it clear? Is it good on your screens? Do let me know, because if it blurs, I'm going to have to come up a bit. Oh, sounds good. Hi, Sarah. Remember, if there's anything to me, guys, do put it in caps so I can see it. If I can't zoom any more in. Is it clear? That's all I need to know. If I zoom in any more, it's going to blur entirely. And zoom in this is about it. This is as good as it gets for me, zoom in. And I will talk you through what I'm doing. So obviously with the YG67, it's my darkest shade. And with the Copics, they've got the brush tip, so you can see. And if I go in too heavy, what ends up happening, you're going to have a big splotch of ink on your paper, and it's really hard. Now, the good thing is with a brush tip, you can control it. So you can go in a few times and just very, very lightly, you can put in your shadows first before you go in any more with any other colour. So I'll do it on 2 to start with, and I'll show you where I'm heading with it. So use your brush tip to its advantage. You know, we've got these other markers, and what sets aside the Copics is the blendability and the brush tip, the control of it. And that's what makes them special. That's what makes them stand out, and that's what justifies their price. With other markers, we've got bullet tips, we've got chisel tips, and we've got other, you know, cheaper brands out there that you can get on good budget. You know, you can get a good set of Touch 5s or Ohuhus, or if you wanted to go up, you know, even more, you can go and get even, I'm going to say the Art and Flies and the Lee Monsu. I don't know how you say them. They're a step up in price. The Copics are the top range, and I had the Touch 5s prior to this, and they do have a huge difference. There's just no comparison. The way they look in total doesn't probably, if you put, you know, side-by-side comparison on colours, but the way that they perform is a big difference. So all I've done first of all is gone in with the darkest shade first. Then I'm going to go in with Pea Green YG63, and this is my mid shade, and again I'm on my brush tip, and I'm just going to feather that out with the brush part even more into my most shaded areas, because don't forget you're going to come in with your lightest shade after, and that's going to bring it all together. Now, the good thing as well with the Copics, and which I've been sort of, you know, testing out and trying out, is they are very easy to control. And the control aspect is so different in comparison to the Touch 5s, the Bic markings, the Pro markers even. They come in such a way that it's so easy to, just very easy to, how do I blur backgrounds with marker pens? I've not done them with backgrounds yet, Ian. Hiya, Elly. Yeah, what I was saying, sorry, I will look into chat in a second. What I was saying was that with these, they're just, the durability of them as well is just so great. And the performance of them on how they feel in your hand is brilliant, because I found that with other alcohol markers, I wasn't getting used to them. And with Copics, as you can see, I've put down the darkest colours. Now I'm going to go in my very lightest, and I'm going to use the brush tip. And this is G21. And as you come in with your lightest colour, you just go straight in over those dark shades. You can always come back in dark again and fill in the rest. And the good thing as well with this paper, it's not going over the line, so there's not bleeding over. You know, sometimes when you go to the edge of the line on some papers, you have that bleed, it goes over, doesn't it? It bleeds over. And another good thing with the brush tip is that the less pressure you put on, the easier it is when you're coming up to those lines on the illustration, because you're not pressing too hard, you're pressing very, very lightly. And the lighter it seems to be, the easier it is to control. See, now it might not look anything at first, but it's pretty much got those down. So you've got the darkest down and you've got the lightest down, and it kind of just all blends in together. So, you know, to put any details in or further details in, we can go with a bit of pencil, but we've got our base down. We've got our whole 2 shades down, 3 shades down, and that is kind of all we need to look at. So we've got that down, and then you can go with your even more olive tone, which is our olive in G99, and you can even go here even darker on the stems, you know. So the good thing with the Copics is that they are really, really easy to use, but they do take some practice, and they also take some learning. And I say that with every medium that you buy. Don't just jump in and think that it's going to look like a work of art to start with. I don't think any of us have that. Hi, Caroline. I'm good, thank you. With any medium you have to take the time to learn it. If you've got these mediums and you have spent a good, I'm going to say a good amount of money on them, then take the time, you know, take the time to learn them. It's the fun part of the process. And that's the good thing with these, you know, it's the fun part. I find it very fun and very, very relaxing to sit here and get lost in learning something and learning everything I can possibly about it before I then, you know, do it myself. So I'm going to just continue with those colours. So first of all, I'm going to put all down I'm not going to, you know, do the whole of them in one go. I'm going to do like all the darks on them, and then all the mids, and then all the lights. So I'm going to go in with my YG67. So I'm going to zoom out for a minute, guys, so you can see what I'm doing overall. So with my darkest, which is the YG67, I'm just going to sort of brush tip out like a feather out. And you go with the illustration here. So you can imagine in a two-way directional change on the leaf. And then on the underneath here a little bit as well. So I hope you're well. I'm okay. I had plumbing issues all weekend. That's why I wasn't here Saturday. But I did upload on Sunday. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. But we still got slight plumbing issues. We've still got a leak. And the plumber can't come back yet because he is fully booked up. So we've got, just at the moment, we've managed to sort of stem it as much as possible. But I had the new toilet put in and it just has been a blooming nightmare. And my entire weekend was dominated by that. So that's how my weekend has rolled. So how was all your weekends and what have you been up to? What projects are you up to? Anything interesting or engrossing? Or if you just, who's hit, right, this is another question. Who's been hit by the January blues? I know I have. So I'm just doing with the YG67 first before I blend in. All over, just going all over the entire leaf area on the dark parts that I would like before I blend in with the lightest shade. Yeah, I know, so many people. Ah. I wish you better. Oh, you've been vlogging lots. Is that keeping you really occupied then, Robin? And what are you blogging? All books? Is it all book related? Yeah, it does sound fun. It does sound fun. So yeah, that I'll send it in the week when Andrew's about, Mo. I'll send you a picture when Andrew's about and he can get out to the post office for me because I do rely on him to get, you know, do my posting, and like today picked up my prescription, you know, all of that good stuff. So thanks, Mum. I know. You know, it's a big topic. We all start, I think quite a lot of us don't like to say it, or you know, people think you're depressed or something, but I think it's a very common thing, is that January seems to bring a lot of that blue feeling to us. And it's not depression, you know, for some of us. For some people it is. But for others, it's just that can't be bothered, can't be motivated. You find it hard to sort of just do anything this time of year because it's so grey and grim. And, you know, we do have this issue. And, it, you know, I was listening to the radio the other day and they were saying it on there as well. They were saying, you know, people don't take it seriously, but actually it's a really common thing. And it is very, very repetitive around the nation at the moment that people are finding January hard. So I said, you know, it's a good subject to sort of talk about because people don't like to say it, but it's not. It's not a bad thing. It's just life, you know. This time of year it's cold, and you need to find things that make you happy, like art or crafts, or you know, your colouring books, or your anything. You really need to find something that engrosses you in, because if you don't, you're going to find yourself really slipping into that. So things like this are really important for mental health. Hi, Susie. So I'm going to go over to my YG63 and just to blend out a little bit the YG67, we're just going to blend in some of this into it so it's not such a drastic change. And then we'll come with our lighter shade. So this is the thing with the Copics, guys, is that you can really see a difference of blending than other alcohol markers. You can blend these right in. They're really fun to use. So go on all of your leaves here. And we'll come in with a pencil after. And we'll change it all up. Yeah, quite a lot of people... they say, you know, the holidays have been tough, and I've said to everyone, you know, whether you celebrate it or not because of circumstances or whatever the you know, the reasons for not celebrating Christmas, just have a nice time. And then, you know, when January comes, really think about what you want to do for yourself. Forget anything else at the moment. What do you want to do for yourself? So I've set myself some goals this year, and you know, they're all very much art related, funnily enough. And I thought, it's a good time to start. Why not? So if you've set yourself any goals and you want to share them, then let us know. And I'd wish you all the luck in the world with them, because it's good to have some personal goals. And it's good to have things to look forward to, because this time of year is difficult for many. Yeah, January is quite a blue time for a lot of people. Hiya, Laurie, thank you. We're just going to do this mostly on your next. Oh. I don't think I've got that effect on myself, but I quite like that effect on myself. If you're going to love this book. Okay, and then I'm going to the very lightest, which is G21. And I'm just going to blend out the entire leaf. So we've got the very dark middle colour. And then the good thing is with the lightest one, you can blend out and blend into all colours. So it all sort of I'm going to say interlinks with each other. It sort of entwines all together. And, you know, as I said, if you want to get any small detailing, and you can get your pencil in that, but you won't need much. You won't need much detailing with your pencil at all, because your colours are down. Your pencil's just to bring out any further detailing, I'd say. And we're going to do that with either an umbery type colour or a grey, as I've said in the past. So it really does sort of come together at the end. Okay, Katrina. Oh gosh, I wish. Thank you. I'm just learning, and you know, I've really thrown myself into this. I'm thinking I want to make the most out of all of this year, and that is my goal. So do let me know, you know, what your crafts, arts, colouring for some of you. For others, it's just an overall art goal. Have you got any things that you want to try this year, like journaling or sketching, or what's your goals this year? Mine's to fill a sketchbook and try that, as well as finish some whips and really enjoy learning markers, as well as, you know, the pencils and what works together. So I've set myself some. Hi, Francis. They are. Hi, KP. Yeah. So as I said, you know, if this time of year, like me, you've been suffering with January blues bad, and you've been locking yourself away or hiding away, I think now's the time to snap out and give yourself something positive to focus on. And that's what I've been trying to do. I'm snapping out of this bad spell of mine, and I'm really getting engrossed in these kinds of things now. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm really enjoying them. I'm really enjoying them. It is. I know. You love bullet journaling. No, I'm not either. I used to draw a long, long time ago, and I really want to get engrossed back into it. So I'm with you all the way on that one. Hiya, Becky. Okay, going over to my G99, just on the stem. And I'm just going to bring some of this down here. And as I said, we can go over to our pencil after. But for now, we're pretty good on just keeping with the markers. And we'll see what we can come up with. And that's the whole point in this, you know. I'm not planning this as such. I've got in mind, but I've not planned my colours. I've not planned it. We're seeing what we can do. Hi, Phoenix. You want to look more into casting printing? Yeah, pencil snap, Sam. Yeah, I think we all need you know, I've been speaking to a few people, you know, who's emailed me, and I've been saying, you know, I've disappeared off the face of the earth just for 2 weeks now, and I just need to sort of snap out of it now. It's ridiculous. It's not a depression, guys. It's just that get out of this like funk. It's a funk. Ah, thank you. Yeah, it's a lovely book. You want to do more resin? Nice. And lots of drawings and colour pages. I really like the sound of that. Hiya, Ty. Or Kimberly. Hiya, Kimberly. Okay, so we're going over to our YG67 again. I'll zoom you back in this time, so you can pretty much get an idea of where we're going with this. Yeah, Zeely, it's not that as such. It's this time of year. It's like, where's the sunshine? You know, where's the sun? The sun's hiding. We've got a cold spell coming, and I'm like, oh. Okay, so all I'm doing is just brushing this out. So as I said, this is YG67. So just go to the mid sort of range and brush outwards. And I'm just kind of keeping that, you know, I'm not going over the entire leaf. I'm just going into the mid. Now under here, I'm going to put a little bit heavier lay down. And with the brush tip, the good thing is that you can vary your pressure. So you can go harsher, lighter. You can feather out, you can use it like you would on a chisel part, you know, you can do so many things. I love the brush tips. I think I've fallen in love with markers now because they are actually quite versatile and you can use other mediums with them. Yes, vitamin D. I know. Christine, I hear you, girl. Hi, Caroline. Yeah, oh, you've got the Studio 71 brush markers. Brush markers are fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So I've really been engrossed in doing something. Now, I had a dilemma the other day. I was like, do I or don't I? Now, what would you do? This doesn't sound like a big dilemma, but it was. Now, you've got a book. Right, let me just, sorry for a second. I'm just trailing off for a second. You've got this book, guys, right? So you've got this book in front of you and you say, on the back of a page, let me find a page, right? In reality, are you going to be worrying about the back of this page in particular? Would you worry? Okay. So just yes or no. Would you worry about this page or would you sacrifice it for the sake of a marker? So I'll tell you which one I couldn't sacrifice. So I'm looking at this page, right? And I'm thinking, I'm never going to colour a coffee cup and some Korean writing. But then I'm thinking, but I really wanted to use markers. And I sat there and I really, really battled with it. And I'm thinking, Sam, this is not third world problems, but I couldn't sacrifice it, so I didn't. I didn't. I thought, I can't. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Because what I really wanted to do on this page, it's not showing the colours how it should. Bear with me, everyone. What I wanted to do is sacrifice the back and go with the background with marker, right? So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the marker down. Yeah, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. I couldn't do it. I was like, who would understand this problem? Seriously, who would understand this problem? So I'm like, I can't do it. I just can't do it, guys. So, yeah, I'm going to do one on jeans. Thank you. Hi, Claire. So I'm thinking, yeah, I can't do it. So the problem was, am I realistically going to colour this page on the back? The answer is no. I'm not going to. But I really wanted to use markers and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I went the long route and I did pencils. So I was wondering, anyone that's going to understand me is going to understand me in this chat. I couldn't, Shirley, I couldn't do it. Hi, Mandy. So I'm thinking, no, can't do it. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. So I didn't. And then people are thinking, what is wrong with you? Robin, I have got Katrina. I think. Thank you. But I think she's just gone off somewhere. She said she'll be back. Yeah, I know. I was like, can I? Hi, Faye. So anyway, I'm with my YG67. Let me get back. Otherwise, I'm going to take forever to do some like seaweed, aren't I? So I wanted to just like discuss these silly problems. And I was sitting there last night really toying with the idea of just slapping some markers on it. And I thought, I just can't. I can't do it. I can't. I know I'm not going to colour it. I know. Thanks, Claire. I know. I'm not going to I know I'm not going to colour that coffee cup. But can I sacrifice the coffee cup? And the answer in the end was no. I can't. And I thought I have to just tell you that silly bit and, discuss with you. My silly little mind last night, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. And that is how I sat toying with the idea of markers last night in that book. And then I just thought, but in reality, why did I talk myself out of it? Because I am just not going to, am I? Yeah, it's the thing. All right, Elly, I just couldn't. So would you, that is the answer. What are you willing to sacrifice on your pages, your colouring pages, for the sake of markers? Would you be willing to, A, only do it on single-sided, or B, if it's a little image like that, or C, would you be willing to sacrifice a whole image if it's not one that you like in the slightest? So what would it be? Yeah, mine's A. I can't do it. Only single-sided. I just couldn't. Hi, Kenny. I couldn't do it. I'm thinking, what is wrong with me? They're just pages. They're pages. What is wrong with you, Sam? And then I just thought, it's a topic I've got to sit there and talk about because we are so anal over these things, silly things. It's just pen and paper. It is, isn't it? And I can't think to any book that I've ever sacrificed a page on the back. Yeah, I would. I did. I couldn't do it, Christine. Yeah, see, on here I can because you have got nothing on the back. Look, it's single-sided. It's fine. Right, so in your expensive books, this is another one. So you've got expensive books, like your Claras, like you say. Now, Claras are, I've not swayed from this. I'm going to do these first, you know, up here, and then we're going to bring in the other colours. So you've got Clara, and on the back of her first book, it's a repetitive image on the back. Oh, you don't do troll. Thinking, what troll? Where's the troll? So you've got that repetitive little tiny bit on each of Clara's back pages, haven't you? And in the first book, you have the same one, and in her other books, they're different. So what do you do? If you really wanted to use Copics, would you sacrifice it? Or would you leave it and only do pencils or mediums that don't bleed? So you can actually get water-based markers, guys. Don't think, you know, this is just it. It's only alcohol-based. But there are water-based markers. They're super tips, but they lose streaks. And that's another issue I've got. Take care, Jodie. You would sacrifice. Oh, Connie. Hey, Connie. Well, you could buy two, but what if you don't want to buy two? Yes. Hi, everyone that's come in. Oh, I just got issues. I got issues. So now I'm back to my YG63 before we bring in the lightest colour. This is how my mind works. I'm like, why are you worrying about a silly bit on the back? Regardless, so why? Because if I had a sketchbook, for instance, I wouldn't care if there's bleed on the back because it's a sketchbook, you know. I wouldn't care if I messed a million pages up because I'll just buy a new one. But with colouring books, it's like someone else's work of art. I'm just scared to make that judgment over whether or not I want to have the coffee cup on the back sort of destroyed. And yeah, I need to get out of that. Yeah, I'm the same. Anyway, so that was my little topic of conversation for a bit. So January blues and what we're willing to sacrifice in our books. And I think you're all pretty much on the same page. Probably some of you are thinking, no, I would just not worry. And then the other part is just like, no, I'm the same, Sam. But yeah, Andrew was just like, what are you worrying about? Just put it on. You know, are you going to? I said, no, I'm not going to, you know, colour that coffee cup. So just put the markers on. Yeah. I'll see you like that as well. Oh, do you, Kimberly? Yeah, you're same. So you're all my family. You know what I'm going through. Dash, you need to just relax and keep yourself all tucked up in bed. Claire, sorry, I was regarding to this one, sweetheart. 1 minute. So this was the coffee cup I was on about. I'm not going to ever colour this page. This is what I was talking about. I'm not going to. You know, it's not. So I was saying, would I be willing to put markers on here and sacrifice this? And in the long and short of it, no, I wasn't. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, Claire. Just couldn't. So G21 is now the lightest colour, which is lime green. It's not really limeish though. It is more like a very light moss green. And I'm just going over all of the area of the leaf that's left. And it blends in really perfectly with the other colours that we've got already put down on the page. So I'm just lightly applying. You know, brush tips, you don't have to apply hard. No, I know. I wouldn't either. I hope you're okay, Robin. I hope everything goes okay tomorrow. I've been for several of those myself. They're no fun. So I am very lightly applying this over all of the remaining leaves. We'll come down to those after. I'm going to have to speed up a little bit because otherwise we would be forever just doing leaves. But this is real-time colouring, so it does take the time that it takes. It is a live chat as well, guys, so I do talk to those that are in chat. So I know people, you know, I've had a couple of questions regarding that in people watching back. And I say you can open the live chat, but it is a live chat, so I am talking to those that are already here present. And I must say, I did that video on my own the other day. I didn't like talking to myself one single bit. No, you're the same. Yes, I am, Connie. I'm using Copics, lovely. How's little Dragon Lagon? Is he doing well? Oliver? Little Dragon Lagon. So we've just done those with the Copics. I'm going to move my way down. Oh. And how are you doing, Kimberly? Are you feeling a bit better now? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Tammy, I couldn't sit there doing it on my own. I was like, oh gosh, I miss people too much. I'm like, this is no fun on my own. I just don't like it, babe. I tried it and I was like, oh no, I like to have like a chat and a response and, you know, look over at the screen and see you all here. That's the fun of it. Ah, lots of scritches. You can give him little warm baths. Yeah, but I'm loving Dee Dee's new videos, but I know what she means. It's different. It's different not having someone there. It really is. Okay, so I'm going in with my darkest shade again, which is G99. Oh, you do have it. Sorry, guys. Where was it? Up at the top?
Yep.
Andrew's trying to find a film to watch. I don't like this film. He's watched it 1,100,000 billion times. So he was looking for this. Jaws, so we can go and watch it in the bedroom while I'm streaming. So I found it now. Yeah, you do get, I suppose you would get more done, but it's a bit, unless you're unless you're sitting there, you know, with something in front of you to talk about, you find it, I don't know, like you can repeat yourself a lot over what you're doing, and you know, you talk through the process, etc. But there is more fun in interaction with people, without a doubt. That's just me personally. I love watching people's videos, and I love, you know, ones that aren't live streams. I love them all, but I just personally myself find it very difficult to upload without people there. And I was very close to debating on just coming on to do, you know, a live one, and in the end I thought no. And you know, those upload times, geez Louise, they took, for a 40-minute video, let me tell you, nearly 3 hours. 3 hours. Andrew, you're knocking the camera.
Sorry.
Ah, you do what you're comfortable with though, Claire. Exactly. No. There's no, you know, it comes just, it's what you're comfortable with, and I'm pretty comfortable in talking, you know, live, and I'm very, you know, chatty in that respect, and I'm okay with that. I find more gaps in conversation when I'm on my own. Yeah. But I do also like the idea of having some to upload, you know, and having that content. Okay, so I am back over to my YG67. And again, I'm just going into dark areas or darkest areas on the leaves. So just into all of the sort of underneath will be heavier with it. So heavier influence on the underneath of the leaf. That was rhyming. Did Did you hear that? I rhymed. Underneath of the leaf. Yeah. Oh, you're Lynette. Hi, Lynette. So I you know, I just find it easier for me. But yeah, I love watching uploaded videos. I watch them all the time. I tell you what I've been doing today. Once I've been cleaning, I bathed Buzz the hedgehog. I changed the bed, did all the boring stuff of life, and then I stuck on for the past hour sketchbook tours. So if you ever watch people sketching, go onto YouTube and type in sketchbook tours, and oh my god, the talent out there is just crazy. So I was watching a few sketchbook tours and they are amazing. Just probably talk too much. Claire, we all have that in us though, honestly. I mean, there's times where we all want to, you know, just rather be in our own company, and that's okay. We're all different. That's what makes the world go round. Okay, so with my YG67, I don't know if you can see that, I'm just choosing which parts of the leaves I would like darkest. And we will start putting all the minor details in after, but they will not take long. And that's the good thing with the marker bases, or, you know, marker overall, is that it puts down a lot. It solidifies the color for you, so it's down. And you can blend and you can do all of that with the markers, with the Copics. The Copics are brilliant for it. 1 minute, pardon?
Yes, how do you get it to come?
What, you want it onto the Xbox thing? Yeah. At the bottom, there's like sorry everyone, in the bottom on the remote control, I think it's the bottom left, press that till it goes to HDMI 2. Yeah. And then just put your disc in. And then it'll go to Blu-ray player.
HDMI 2.
You can tell who's the technology person in this house, can't you? Before you watch, you can make another cup of tea if you like. Thank you.
Tea Fairy's on strike.
No, he's not.
Overworked and underpaid.
I made my last one. The deal is, mister, you do my teas if you're around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you. Thank you.
Mm.
My cup's there.
I had a couple of hellos. Hello.
Yeah, the Tea Fairy's not on strike. Don't let him fool you, everyone.
I've spoken to the union, and until I get a pay increase, I'm not working.
Yeah, okay. Oh gosh. Oh, Danny, just keep trying it. Keep trying it. Who have I missed? Have I missed anyone? Hey to anyone that come in and I've missed them. Jan. Yeah. Don't go on strike. I need my tea. Okay. So I am just still with this one marker to start with. Just, you know, it does take some time. Don't be fooled. Markers, you know, they do take time. Just not as long as pencils. But I'm so used to pencils now that I don't find they take me as long as they used to. So there is a silver lining and all of that. So I'm just doing the very darkest colour into those, and then we are going to head over to our mid-tone, our light tone, and grab a pencil and add any final detailing onto this it's like a seaweed that's growing. And I had a look, and these seaweeds can range in colours. So we're going to put our shading in and add our details in, but that's always last. Okay. So then we're going to go over to our mid-tone, which is YG63. I know, Annie. Hi, Annie. Yeah. Wait till you're feeling up to it, Danny. I know. He would ruin. I'd have to give him one of the pages in a book that I am really not fussed about, because let's just say he wouldn't do a very good job. As much as I love him to pieces, he is not artistically minded at all. And he would just like be straight on paper and be, voila, there you go. There's my work of art. And I'll be like, now I'll get you all to critique it. Bless him. He is funny. He's around on the Tuesday streams because he doesn't work on a Monday, Tuesday, but he's not around on the Saturdays usually because he's at work. So it'll have to be that kind of day. Oh, you got Mysteria. You're going to enjoy it. Okay, and then I'm going over to G21. And now over all of the leaves that we've got, you're just going to blend it into those colours. Now I am going to come in with a slightly darker one again in a minute and just define all of what we've got here. But that is my very last port of call. So I'll show you on the back as well, because it's a good reference. It's just a little thing to show you as well. If you kind of want to see what your Copics look like when they all blend together, without all the additional details in, flip it over and look at the back, and it will show you. So if we do it here, it will show you at the back the different colours. So you can see like the darker tones, mid tones, light tones, and then you've got the mid in the middle, you've got this one, and then you've got the light tones around the back. They're really, really good. I did, Dache, sweetheart. I did. I got one. I know. I need to tell him, don't I? He should make an appearance one day, I promise you. He's quite shy, my Andrew, believe it or not. He's quite a quiet man, shall we say. I know he doesn't sound it. He really is. He is. He's comfortable, like with me and stuff, you know. But it's very quiet, quite introverted in that sense. And you know, we're so chalk and cheese, me and Andrew. I'm the yappy one, like Chip, and he's the quiet one, like Buzz. He's spirit animals, like Buzz. Very, very quiet. Okay, so we're just going in over the entire lot of these leaves. And this is with, as I said, G21 is our lightest shade, which is lime green. And I'll zoom out after. Now, if you do have any leakage over a leaf, don't worry. It just means you've pressed down too hard. You can always correct that with the colour that you're going to put down after. Oh, bless him. Yeah, well, I don't think I'd get Andrew to do that anytime soon either, Faith. Not at all. I think he'd run a mile. I asked him that. He'd run for the hills. Hi, you unicorn. Dache. Sometimes not sometimes, often, Claire will tell you as well. Throughout the year, they go down frequently, polychromos. Very frequent. They go down, I'm going to say, a good 3 times a year at least. Last year they did anyway. And they go down pretty well as well. They go down a good amount. Almost half price. So do keep your eyes peeled. And if I find out that anything goes on sale, I know Claire always updates her Facebook page. So if you head on over to Colour with Claire on Facebook, she usually pops it up straight away when they go down in sales. And when you can get the best bargains, etc. I'm blending while wet, but they also blend whilst dry. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out a minute, and I'm just going to show you the finishing touches of what we're going to do with the marker before we add any pencil. So just as it stands, we have got the greens in there. So the stems is G99. And the leaves without, oh, I missed one. Let's pop it on there. Thank you. 1 second, everyone. It won't because it's an old disc.
Old disc. I bought it a few years ago.
I don't know. Just keep it as it is for now. Is it watchable?
Yeah, the screen's strong.
Enjoy. Thank you. Bye. You have to do it from the main remote, Andrew, but I don't think it's got batteries. Okay. Tilly, she's asleep. She's here, but she's sleeping. Okay. Yeah, that's it. The alcohol, the Copics, I'll get my words out. The Copics blend wet or dry, don't they? Okay, so with our darkest shade, because we've gone in with G99 on the darkest. So we've got YG67, YG63, G21, and G99. Now, the stems are done in the G99. And all I'm going to do is just bring a tad of that into just on one side and add a few strokes in. So can you see that? Just very, not on all, just on our larger leaves and on the underneath as well. So on the very large leaves, I'm just going to bring in a tad of G99, and it's just giving me that extra definition out so that you can have it stand out a little bit more. Just a tad, just a tad. Don't need too much. Hi, Evelyn. Hi, anyone? Yes. Have a go with your alcohol markers. You know, if anything comes away from this stream and you feel inspired to go pick those tools up, then I've done a pretty good thing, even if you don't like, you know, the picture or whatever. If you feel inspired, then I've done a pretty good deed for the day, because that's all I like to hear is go pick them up, go and enjoy them, go and have fun. So yeah, there's so many. We're going to do a whole marker stream next week. So we're going to do a picture in markers. We're going to incorporate and mix them. We're going to have a whole marker stream. And I'm going to print onto the Express It blending card. And we're going to, yeah, we're going to have a good old go at different markers and how to achieve pictures. So I'll scale it down. And we'll do the same picture in different markers. I think that would be good. The hair colours, Dache, I think I listed it on my first stream, part 1. So it's listed in the description. So I'm just coming back with my G21 here because I've missed one. So if you see anything you've missed, that's the good thing. Now we're going to just grab a pencil and we're going to define stuff now. No, we're not. We're going to grab our G99 and just finish up just ever so slightly on some of them, just slightly. And then I'm just going to grab back my G21. Yeah, next week, that's what we're going to do on, I think, Tuesday stream. I'm going to announce my giveaway on Thursday or Saturday. I'm trying to think, can I stream first because I've got the hospital this week? So it will most likely be Saturday. I would announce the giveaway. So keep peeled for that. And what else have we got? We've got the marker stream and we've got our grey hair coming up as well on Saturday. So we've got quite a few things to cover, which will be good. So we're doing grey. That's our next colour hair. Okie dokie, grab your breakfast. So I'm going to grab my Luminance because that's what we've been using. We've been using Copics and Luminance. Yes, they're high budget, they're high brands, and you know. You have something. Ah, I like that. Thank you, girl. Hi, Jane. Okay, so I'm going to grab my grey. Now, what grey do I want? I want a nice dark Paynes type grey. So I'm going to go for this colour is French grey 808. So I'm just grabbing a grey. Grey goes really well on top of these. Thank you. Yes, you do have direct orders, and I'm directing as well. You have got to relax. Make sure that you don't do anything heavy, Dache, and you just chill out. Enjoy your hobbies. Just chill. Don't do anything stressful, strenuous, and heal yourself. Your body needs to heal. Okay, so we've got 808 in the Caran Dache Luminance. Katrina, I'm going to be doing the Holbeins, but I'll give you the conversion in polys. I'm going to work out the polys and the Holbeins. So for those that don't have the Holbeins, I will be doing a conversion to polys for you. So I'll do that all on one of my little cards. I'll put the Holbein that I'm using, and then underneath I will put the alternative in the poly. Does that sound okay? Right, so 808. Now all I'm doing is going shading a little bit into these leaves. Now, with any green botanical stuff, if you want to add any depth, I honestly think greys are best. And they really do give a really defined dark shading without going too heavy or black, you know. And I've always found that when I've done anything botanical, they taught me to do greys with greens. So that is what I'm going to do. Oh, you do have them. Well, I'll still do the poly alternative because I don't do that in every single colour along. I haven't got, you know, the brain power to sit there and work out every single pencil in every set. But I do, with any Holbein things, I'll try and convert over to polys and not Prismas. And the reason I'm going to do polys is because they're a harder pencil and they are better in terms of doing the hair. So I'm going to do them in the polys and the Holbein. So I will give you an update of which pencils. I'll put it on the community setting on the channel, everyone, so that you know. I'll probably do that within the next couple of days for Saturday. So you've got all the pencils there and you know what to use. So those of you that want to colour along with me, you can do. Or those of you that just want the combination, you can take it from the community setting. So I will be working on that in my free time next, so that I've got it all prepared and done. And don't forget, we use the Mariola Budek images, and it just makes, you know, life easy. Yeah, greys and greens are great. So I'm not going over all of them. I'm just putting in some detail. I'm going to bring in a little bit of white Posca very shortly, just to add a little bit of detail. But the good thing is with greys and greens, you can just add a little bit of shading, and you know, you don't have to do bunches because our Copics have done the rest. Don't worry about adding too much pencil on anything like this because your Copics have done it all. Oh, take care, Caroline. Well, Dache, keep me updated, lovely, on you, and make sure that you do rest as much as humanly possible. You know, we say that, and I know life gets in the way. You know, responsibility, etc. But the house is not going to fall apart if you rest for 5 days, 5, 10, even 2 weeks. And I hope, you know, that you can allow your body to do that and that you get a little bit of help indoors. So I'm just adding a little bit of this 808. And it is just to shade in slightly on some of the areas. So you just go by your own eye here. Where do you want darkest? Where do you want lightest? Does any of them need some dark? Add it in. The rest of it is just Copics, guys. So you don't worry, your Copics have done it all. And you can even, on the very tips, which we're going to get in a minute, I'm going to grab a little bit of like a yellowy green. Bear with me. I'm just putting on a little bit. Oh no. Okay, Jane. I wish you better. It is so handy. Is it not available to you then, Faith? Have you got it? So what's the deal with the community setting then? I know that it's there, but is it not available to everyone? I thought it was available to everyone. That was me being dumb. I didn't know. Okay, I'm going to grab a yellowy green in a minute. So I'm just adding a touch. I want a heavily shaded bit there. I'm just looking at where I would like this. Dache, she needs telling. He needs telling. Oh my. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. You're kidding me, Dache. Charge his family. Family. You're supposed to help each other out. Oh my. Is there a friend? Okay, so I'm just adding in a little bit. And then just add a touch, a small touch. Oh, okay, so a bit like with monetization, is that right? So you have to have a certain amount to monetize, and it's the same with that as well. Okay, so I'm just grabbing the spring green in 470. And you know the very tips, it has a very light green. So remember we were looking at a reference picture, so it is just a little bit. So just to add that pop on the edges only. So just to your edges of your seaweedy stuff. It is like a seaweed. I'm going to call it a seaweed. I'm just adding a touch of this spring green. So only on certain areas, because your Copics have done the rest. This is just to add detail. This is not to add, you know, depth of colour and loads of shading. We've done that. We're just adding a touch of detail just onto the edges. Hold on. Hiya! How are you doing, Deb? Hi, Louise. Thank you, Katrina. I did not know that. I didn't know that. So you have to have 1,000 subs in order to get the community tab. Oh, Dache. Ah, good to know these things. Well, when you do get there for everybody, it's a very handy tool because it can let everyone know what you're up to or what you're planning or what's up and coming. Anything that you want advice on, like if you were doing a picture or any art project and you wanted some advice, or you wanted to show that, you know, is anyone interested in finding out how to do this? Because we've got to do the denim soon. That's also next week. We're going to do denim. I've written all these things down, and it really does enable me to let you guys know what I'm up to. So if you have got a channel that uses that community setting, definitely check it out, because quite often than not, they do put up, like the channels put up just little snippets of what they're going to be up to. Hi, Andrea. Gosh. Yeah, don't upset Dache, guys. So yeah, it's good use. It's good use. That kind of thing is really handy for channels to have, because you can allow subscribers to know what you are doing, what you've got planned, and, you know, just generally if you can't make it, if there's a little break in your YouTubing or whatever it might be, you will have that there available. Hi, Nia. Hi, everyone that's coming in. Okay, so if I zoom out, you can kind of get the gist of what we've done with this. So we've got the Copics down, and we've just literally put a bit of detailing in with some pencil, and it is the minimal. Because your Copics have done all of the work, you don't need to add too much in. This is just to highlight and put a different sort of, I'm going to say it gives you a difference in detail. I do think she's underwater. I do. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed doing them the other day. Right, so what I'm going to do now, before I do the background, I'm going to add some bubbles in, I think, as well in the background. So we've got a stencil. We need a stencil for that. I am going to get bear with me, everyone. What am I looking for? Train of thought has gone. Train of thought. Where is this going? This goes where? Hold on, everyone. I'm having a brain fog. Brain fog moment. There we are. Found it. Okay. What I'm going to do is grab a Posca pen. And then I am going to thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed doing them. I start first you're doing one tonight. Yeah, I think she's a mermaid, or she's some sort of underwater sea goddess. Now with my white, before I do my background and my bubbles and doing stuff like that, I'm just going to grab a white Posca. Now, you're not going to have many highlights on the leaves. This is just me adding little touches. So let me show you if I zoom in. So on the tops of the leaves or the bottoms, this needs to be good shake up. Hold on. Okie dokie. So I'm just going to add like a, you know, if like you would have little bits hitting the top of the plant. Because we're going to have like a, not a residue, but it's going to have just tiny little details. So just very small, I'm going to add these tiny little splotches, like spots. What's your plan for tonight then, Dev? So any of you that do live stream, let everyone know in the comments, if in the chat now, or in comments if you're watching this back, and your channels, what you're doing, what kinds of things you do on your channel. Right, okay, so I'm going to add a little line here and there. And yeah, hopefully you'll get more people see you as well. Community tab, if you go to the channel, Kenny, so let me show you. I'll come to my channel. Hold on. So if you go to someone's channel, let me show you. So on the top of the channel, you've got home, videos, playlists, and then community. And then people can post like pictures or videos, or like I post updates. When I'm planning my videos, I'll post an update. So let you know that we're doing hazelnut hair, or you know, different things. So when I did the black hair, and then a sneaky peek into the red hair. So I use my community tab to let you know what's going on. And so that just lets you know without you having to search through or say, Sam, where are you? Or what are you up to? You'll know because I mostly post what's coming up. So like I put here, would anyone be interested in finding out how to do jeans? And there was a good response. So that's a definite, you know, and people can comment, you can comment. That's okay. So they're little things that YouTube have really improved for everyone, and it helps channels, it helps subscribe, it helps everyone, because what it's doing is giving you another outlet, giving you another platform, so that it's easier for people to find out what you're doing. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. It's a good thing. So if you have that, if you didn't know about it and you're a channel and you've got over 1,000 subs, then I didn't know that that was the requirement, but there you go. If you've got over 1,000 subscribers and you have the community tab available to you, use it. It's brilliant. Okay, so I'm just putting like these little, they're like just an effect, really. I'm just doing little tiny dots. You're welcome. Share away. I just say to everyone, don't spam. You know, I don't mind everyone sharing their stuff, their channels, but there were like a couple of times I had someone just keep going on and on and on, and I'm like, just don't spam, it's fine, you know, you can mention it, people will see you. That's the only thing. If someone came, they didn't even subscribe, I found out, they just came in to spam. I was like, no. That's fine, you can mention it, but no. Right. Ah, Dash, you're amongst friends now, so you can come in here and you can just chill out and relax. Yeah, you stream really late for me, Faith. That's why I miss yours. I'm asleep. Right, I need my stencil, so bear with me, everyone. I'm just going to put, this is so you know I'm not at the screen. I put that there so you know I'm not here for a second. All I'm going to do is go grab a stencil. So bear with me. I'm grabbing a stencil. I'm going to get my bubble stencil and I'll tell you which one and where you can buy it. So. Okay. Right, I found them. Oh, you can do polls. I didn't know that. I'm learning. Thanks, KP. I didn't know these things. God, things are just getting better and better, aren't they? Okay, so now I've got my stencils. Now, you don't have to have a million stencils like I do. I'm just a bit over the top. Hey, happy Mal, Connie. Enjoy them. Have fun. Hi, Nichols. Thank you very much. Okay, so I've got, this is just my stencils. So I'll quickly show you. Do you want to see them quickly before we do this? So at the moment, the lady who I buy these stencils at the back from is currently not in, she hasn't got a shop at the moment. If or when she comes back, I will let you know. So I can't give you all the information on these ones at the back because the lady unfortunately had 2 major passings in her family, so she shut the shop. So I've got a bunch of stencils, and they can be used for various projects. Now I've got 2 bubble stencils. This little one is from Amazon. It's by Creative Expressions and it's called Bubble Burst. I have also got this one, but this was, as I said, I can't give you the details of this one because the lady is no longer in production for the time being. Oh no, I'm so sorry. So these are really nice. Now, I really like this one because you've got a variation. You don't have to use the entire thing. I pick and choose which ones and which sizes that I want. Okay, is it Adri? I don't want to say your name wrong. I hope your snow clears. And this one is really good. I use this a lot. And this is a small one. It was so inexpensive. I think it was like £3 in English pounds. And you can buy these on Amazon. Type in Creative Expressions. And they're made in the UK. I'm pretty sure you can get them on quite a lot of platforms. But type in Creative Expressions. You can also visit www.creative-expressions.uk.com. And I've got an alternative as well. Now, I have got a lot. Now, Creative Expressions do various ones. They've got a star, a heart, a honeycomb, raindrops and splash. Now, I don't use these as a whole. I pick and choose bits of stencils that I want to incorporate. Now, at the moment, the only 2 that I'm needing are my bubble ones. But there are various stencils you can use in your colour books, and you don't have to use the entire thing. Now, I've got a huge range of them. Like I've got like a plaid type. I've got cogs, you know, there's so many different ones you can get. I've got like a geometric design. Again, you can pick and choose sections that you want. Leaves. I've got this like diamond, you know, where it goes down like a background. I've got an idea for this one. I've got a rose, sort of rose type one. These is, you know, you can get them made. This is a feather with the, I think it goes that way. Feather with birds. Christmas lights. You can use them for different projects. The mandala, doily type. This is galaxy elements. Now, this is really good because if you're wanting the splatter, but you don't know how to hand do them, I would suggest tape this down. And if you're doing a galaxy background, if you have little splatter, you can just go with your paint because the paint comes off of this. It's plastic. And you can go with your paint, dry it and lift, and you'll have your splatter done. Same as these kind of elements as well. So there's so many uses for stencils. Hiya, Grace. This is another wreath, the Christmas one. Now, these are different elements. So you can have clouds, mountains and grass. You know, different elements on that. A script. We've used this script before. I know there's so many. This is another sort of geometric design, very repetitive. This is another, I have trailed off for a minute. We are going to come back to the picture. This is a small Christmas stencil. Circle stencils are a must. Brickwork. Another diamond-y type of background. I look at backgrounds and what can I use? Now, I use the honeycomb on this, and I also use the like splatters. So this is a grunge one. Now, I don't use the entire thing. You can see I use elements of stencils. I don't use the entire stencil, and you don't need to use an entire stencil. All you can use are elements. If there's something you need, it like the back, this circle even would be brilliant for, say you've got a circular portrait on your book. So bring our book over. And say your person in the middle was like that, and you wanted the circle, you can use the circle around her. You know, there are so many different things you can do with stencils. Don't think that there's just one use. There's 100 uses. Then there's another geometric design. This is for one that I wanted just, I didn't want this bit in the middle. I wanted the different types of music symbols. Another cogs one. I've used this. Let me show you quickly what we use that in. So there's lots of uses. I want to just give you a quick idea. 1 second. Right, so in our pot manga, I've probably showed this before, but I'll quickly show you again. So I did a very busy galactic background, and I used cog stencils. I don't know if you can sort of, 1 minute. Right, so I used this cog stencil in particular with a pastel. So I did an acrylic background, and then I came with elements of it. So I sort of put that there, and I put like pastel. And then I came over here and I shaded in a bit, and I put some more up here, and I used an element, and I thought, right, I just want that bit, so I'm going to put some there. And then I grabbed my pencil and I put pencil, and I kind of went in, and it's very messy, but it adds to the effect. So if I lift you up a moment, so you can sort of see where I was sort of heading with this. It comes to different, you know, I wanted something really busy and like they were floating in space. So you don't have to use an entire stencil. Like I used elements of, and I just wanted it, like I got pencil, I got pastel, and I went with a white over black acrylic paint, and I went splattered, and I, you know, just went really wild with the background. I thought, what the heck? Let me just get really busy on this one. So grab any stencil that you're looking for and just get an element of it. So in particular, look, I've just got the right bit there. Grab an element of it and grab your pastels and put your pastels over. peel it away and you would have an outline. Grab your white pencil and with your white pencil sort of go in between. But it's really, really handy to do, and they're just something fun and different, you know, something fun and different. Okay, so I'm going to bring you back down again now. So I am really trailing off here, but I just want to show you what's out there, you know, and this will only be a couple of minutes more and then we'll continue with our page because we've got to do the background, otherwise we'll be here forever and a day. Okay, and then like you've got a clock. So we've got a clock here, and then you know, if you're doing like foresty backgrounds and you haven't got, let me turn it up a bit. So you want foresty backgrounds and you've not got any trees, but you want a tree stencil. Flowers, I've used this on one before. I've got an idea for, you know, in Anamorphia. Now, you know, there's a big ram. There's a big ram, like with big horns, and the horns are fill your own in. These are the types of things you can use your stencils in. That is just amazing. And this is going to be so handy in things like you draw your own parts. Like even in Hannah Carlson, in her daydreams, you've got that butterfly and it's draw your own stuff. Use that. And then this is just, tis some visitor tapping at my door. This was actually for something else. This is for cards. And then we've got a really nice honeycomb here. This is a Halloween one. I really like this. Again, it's like blood. And I really wanted that for some Halloween pictures. So we're doing, you know, really nice things. I liked the autumn wreath. I didn't want the text, but I wanted that wreath. So again, then this was like another Halloween-y type. So 31st of October, eat, drink and be scary. Hocus pocus, trick or treat. Good idea for Toby Books, eh? I thought that as well. Now, I have a picture in mind for this, and I requested this. This is the zodiac signs, and I want these floating in the background of a zodiac picture. So I really wanted that. I've actually used these for cards. So you've got the let it snow. Again, you don't have to use the text. You can use just the elements. It's the same with the ho ho ho. You know, this has still got pastel on it. I've used them for cards. Same with the Merry Christmas. And the same with these. You don't have to use the entire lot. You can just use elements. I love the snowflakes and I love the hollies. Hi, Dorothy. Then we've got, I've used this in a colour book before. So you can just take one of them. And you don't have to use pastels. You can get a pencil and sketch out, you know, the rose. Put that in the corner. So if you were doing it on your page, like you might want it in a corner. Now, this is one that I use regular. Now, I love this. This is animalistic type design. So you've got everyone try refreshing, because I think it's okay my end at the moment. So we've got this little, I use this as well. Yeah, it's okay my end. So just keep refreshing. This is elements as well of like sun rays, sky. And then we've got flowers. It's okay my end. I'm not buffering. Gosh. Sorry, everyone. Maybe it's the weather. So then, you know, grassy elements. This is one of my personal favourites. I use this section a lot at the bottom, this part. And I use this for texture. So you can use these types of elements for texture. Same with this. You can use that Hessian texture. This is one of my personal favourites. And there's some Egyptian pictures. And I actually requested this one. And it's hieroglyphics. I'm going to use, not yet, Susie. I've got so much to try out this year. It's one of my goals. I'm going to try my sketchbooks as well first. And then this is for St. Patrick's Day. I thought that was quite fun. Take care, Mandy. And then last but not least, I've used this on I'll show you. I've used this on a printout. Let me quickly show you what I use this for. So there's so many options, and don't be afraid to try them. Just dive in, have a go. If it didn't turn out how you wanted it, it's okay. So remember I did this one. You see in the corner, I don't know if you can see, I used a stencil. And you can use different things, you know, you can use them. So we're going to use bubbles after all that sidetracking. So are you still with me, guys? Are you still with me? I'm sorry, I did sidetrack there, but I wanted to show you what's available out there. And you can also get requests and get custom orders on stencils. You know, that's what I generally do. But as I said, until the lady's back, she tragically had to shut shop for a bit. She had 2 losses. She is not in business at the minute. So I'm going to use some bubbles, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use them. So first of all, I'm going to plan out and map them out where I want them. So I'm just going to move everything because I've got too much in front of me. Sorry, I saw it. My end is absolutely fine. It's showing. That's strange. Okay, so we need a very light blue. We need a mid blue, and I'm going to go for a deep blue. And then I need my buff titanium. So these are, Andrea, there is, hi card chick. If it's buffering, I don't think it's my end, Becca. I hope it's not. It's not showing as my end. So you might have to just keep refreshing, guys. I know it's a pain in the behind, but I think it's just maybe the internet providers at the minute. But it's showing okay my end at the moment. I bought them off Red Dot Laser, or Red Dot Stencil, she's now been called, and Amazon, but she's not trading at the moment because she's not opening a shop for a bit. Right, so I'm going to just grab my one. You can use, if you find them, these ones off Amazon. This is Bubble Burst, and this is by Creative Expressions. This is bought on Amazon, so you can use this. Now I'm just going to grab a few bubbles where I want them, and I'm going to put them in with the colour very faint grey blue 755. So just behind her head, I'm going to just, you can see her hair's peeking out, so just lightly I'm going to go up to where her hair is. So just faint. I don't know if you can see that. It's very faint. So just plant them where you want them. So I'm going to do a few coming up from this fish. The fish would have a few, wouldn't it? So we're going to have a bigger one. We're going to have a couple of littler ones. And then a very small one. So by the fish, I've put a couple in. Just some small ones. And then I'm going to put just a few floating up. So I'm going to put one coming from behind the leaf. And then we're going to have another sort of bigger one here. I'm going to show you how I do my bubbles. So just round. I'm going to do another bigger one there. Don't worry about being neat. You can just put them in roughly to start with. And then we're going to have, hold your stencil down. I'm going to have some smaller ones. Then I'm going to have a larger one up here. So just plant them how you want them. We're going to do all our shading and stuff after. This is just a rough, where do you want your bubbles to go? I'm going to put one up in this corner here. So just roughly. You need to see them, so I'm not going to say put them in with the lightest blue because you won't see them. So you just want to look at where do you want some bubbles placed. I'm going to put a tiny few by this fish here. So tiny. Another one by this mouth. So just put where you want some. Very, very small. Now this fish, I'm not going to be able to put in, I'm going to do one in marker. So I'm going to just place it there. But I'm going to have to go over that in marker because we've got skin colour. So just put some there. Now, before I do the background, I'm going to shade these bubbles in. So if you're still with the ride, we're going to do the bubbles now. Make sure you got nice sharp pencils. First of all, I'm going to grab my darkest shade, which is the 162 in the Luminance, and I'm just going to go round the edge to start with. So very lightly map your colour out. Very lightly map it out. So where do you want dark and light to go on your bubble, and what do you want to reflect through it? So very lightly I've put that first colour. Then I'm going to grab my number 755. This is all Luminance. I'm just going to add that in a little bit. Then I'm going to go drop it down to my light cobalt blue, which is 661. So we're going to come back in with those colours and deepen them up. And then I'm going to get my buff titanium, and on the edge, I'm going to bring that colour in. So this is how we're going to go, right? So now you can deepen it up. So we go back to our 162. Now you can start to add depth. Now you know where your shading goes. You've started to sort of plan it out. So now we're going to start putting the depth in. So very, very, very lightly apply. And build up, you know, you haven't got to then going over to my 755. You haven't got going full blast to start. Then again over to 661. And I'm just going to continue this pattern as we go through. So just take off any harsh lines. And then get your buff titanium, which is 801. And just very, very carefully blend the bubble together. So just as something to sort of give you a bit of a starting point with the bubble. So it's a good dupe for Luminance buff titanium. You can try it. I haven't actually tried that. I could do a comparison after, but I would have to have a look. If it's light and it's an off-white, I'd say so. Now I don't want this one to be super light. The others are going to fade out. So just with my white, I'm just going to grab. If I get my, what colour is it? French grey 10%. Let me, bear with me. Let me see if I got it beside me, and then I'll have a look for you. 1 minute. Bear with me, sweetheart. I'm looking. Right, French grey 10%. Let's grab a bit of paper. Right, let's do one side by side. They're not exactly, can you see that? So this is buff titanium here, and this is the 10% French grey. This is a bit more puttied. So I wouldn't say they're very much alike, no. I'm just trying to find what would be. Yeah, I'd try more of a cream. Let's have a look at cream. You could do, have you got cream and white? You could mix the two, but I'd go more for cream. Let's see what cream looks like. Hold on. Cream is more like it, but it's cream again is a little bit more yellowed. So I'd say cream is more matching to what it would be. Look, can you see that? That's buff in the middle, that's cream, and that's 10% French grey. So they are, cream is much more suited. But then if you wanted to be, dial it down a little bit more, that's okay. That's why I'm here. I'd say grab some white onto that, and you've probably got a match. Yeah, see, I'd say cream and white actually match it. I'd say it's quite a good comparison. Cream and white. Cream and white will make the buff. There you go. So that's a good question. I'm glad you asked, because not everyone's got the luminance. So that's a good question. Good questionano. Right, so some of them I'm going to make a little bit lighter. Okay. Oops. Right, let's make this. Is it bright enough on your screens, everyone? Nice and bright so you can see. Okay. Oh yeah, polychrome is ivory. That's another one. Right, so now I'm going to get the colour 162, and I'm going to put these quite similar, but I want to take out some of that deep dark colour, and I'm going to replace it with just the light cobalt blue. So this one's going to be a little bit more lighter as we come up. So keep that edge. I'm going to take out this colour in the middle, and I'm going to put 661 straight. So take out the middle colour, because some of them are going to be a bit deeper and some of them are going to be a bit lighter. So I'm going to vary it on depending how far it's coming up on the surface and stuff. So just make that sort of pressure really slight on the paper, and then buff titanium, start to blend in the bubble. It's really effective once it's all done. So just bring that effect up. This one's going to be a lighter because it's above this one. I want it to sort of have a bit of a difference. So just blend that all in a bit. We're going to bring a tiny bit more of the 162, which is your luminance. I've not changed. I'm going to be keeping with the Lumies on this one because that's what we've been using this far. It just gives it, and then go back over to your 661 and just blend that in, and it will all sort of coincide together. Anyone that I may have missed, thank you for joining today, and I hope your days are going pretty good. Okay, is that all right in your screens? Yeah, so those ones are done, and then we're going to head over to all of the little ones. So little ones, I'm going to eliminate this colour. This middle colour, which is our 755, is only going to be on the larger ones. So just for now, I'm going to keep with my first shading colour of 162, and I'm going to go to all of my bubbles, and I'm just going to put the outline of them and the deepest shading colour around the bubble before we head in with our lighter colour. So this is all the little small ones. You can take out some of the edge, which I will do after, so it's not as harsh. It looks a bit more like it's floating. I'm also going to come up to these ones here. If you've got heavy snow, guys, and you're having a lot of interruptions in your internet, I do apologise. You know, whether we haven't got control over it, it's a nuisance, isn't it? Okay, so just with the shading, and as I said, if you need me to repeat any numbers, just ask me. It's number 162. So I'm just going in there first. Take care. Ah, thanks, Christine. Bye, Annie. I'm glad to hear that. I have so much fun with you all here. I really do. I'm just coming over to this bubble here as well before we go over there. I absolutely have a blast coming on with you all and doing something I absolutely love to pieces. This hobby will be with me forever. As I said, I'm coming here to I drop. So you got me for a while yet. Hi, Nick and Tina. Hope you're doing well. Okay, and then I'm going over to 661. So drop the middle colour on the small ones. There's no point, you're not going to see it because they're only little. So it is your first tool is 162, and your second tool on the small are 661. We are using the Caran Luminance because I absolutely love all my pencil sets and I like to use different ones on each stream. So we are on Caran Luminance and Copics on this particular picture. Not decided what I'm going to do on the background just yet. That will come to me as I do it. That is like half of my ideas. They just spring on me. Okay, so we're just using that as our shading tool. Thank you, Moore. Thanks, Moore. I have to say, if you're in London like I am, and you are familiar, well, even the UK, but Londoners in particular from the East End know EastEnders. And whenever I see Mo, it just reminds me of the Slaters now. Just the Slaters on one of our soaps. It makes me laugh. Hi, Lynn. That's okay. Yes, I'm sorry, but it's all right. You're not Nanamo, but you are. It just reminds me of Slaters. It's just when they say Mo. I'm an EastEnders fan, so. All right, and then we're going over to our buff titanium. And this is just our 1 blend in, and 2, it gives that really nice colour. See, the white, it won't show, it will just blend into the paper more, whereas the buff titanium is slightly off-white, like a cream, and it gives a nice difference between the white paper and the pencil colour. So it is a really nice shade, and that just sort of blends in from the edge and goes into your, it goes into your bubble. Okay, so and then grab no, I don't doubt you like her though. It's just the name. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I do really like bubbles actually. Okay, and then I'm going to grab back on my 162 and I'm just going to define the edges, and I am barely touching the paper. It just gives that depth that I'm looking for, but as I said, barely touching. So if you want to add any depth, just go back to your original colour. If you want to shade, you know, go back to it, but just very lightly. And just give that effect I'm looking for. And then with your white, it just adds that bubblish effect. That's going to be our new word, bubblish. Bubblicious. It adds just a little bit of shine to the bubble. Okay, so we've done those few at the top, and if I zoom out, you'll see where we're heading with it. So at a distance, these few we're going to have to do on her body after with a bit of marker. So we're going to go over in the corner in a moment, but we've got these tiny little ones at the very bottom here. Now, I don't want bubbles going like down and round here. My whole idea is that if they're coming from the bottom, they're going to float up like bubbles. So just like we're going to float up. So if we're floating upwards, they will float into different directions, you know, but they won't come down here. They're not going to float downwards, they float up. Less gravity started pulling them down. Lynette, this is Mysteria by Anastasia, Elly, Koldereva. This is available, I put the link in the description already. This is available on Etsy. I've already put the link there for you for those of you that really want to go and grab it. I highly recommend it. It's absolutely stunning. So we'll do, oh, thank you, Nichols. I'm honoured to have you here. Cool craft book, that's the one. I've put the link in the description. So with these tiny little ones, I'm going to put in 162 again. And they are minuscule. You don't have to worry too much about these. There's no point. Then I'm going to go back to 661. And then the buff titanium, which is 801. I should know that off by heart by now. It's my most used pencil. And then with my white. I'm not going to add any more depth to them because they are so small. Yeah, there's a flip through on the channel as well. That's right. You do remember these things. This is why I love you guys so much. You know me more than I know myself. You're all like on it before I'm there. I forget what I did yesterday, let alone that I put a flip through on the channel. So the next ones that we're going to do is the very top ones, and then we're going to do the background. And that is where I get stumped, but we're going to do one anyway. And I don't know whether I want to do it in pencil or not. Maybe watercolours. We might do watercolours, I think. Okay. I just don't know how watercolours act on this paper. I might have to do a test on the back. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go for 162. I might do Albrecht Durer's. I might swap over to some coloured watercolour pencils. I think we might go for the Albrecht Durer's and put a sheen on with a what are they, Paul Rubens? Is that what they're called? I can never remember the name of these things. Okay, so this is the very dark tone. This is getting our shape. Ah, thanks, Dash. Okay, and then same with this one. Now, the very bottom is hidden by a hair, so we're not going to worry about that. And then this teeny tiny one. Now we're going to introduce back. Oh, thank you, Connie. There's a cup of tea. Oh, thank you. Well, Connie, cheers, sweetheart. I've got my cup of tea here. That is my tea fairies on strike. So thank you so much. It is highly appreciated. It's a very lovely thing. Thank you, Connie, very much. And a big squish to Oliver. 755 is our mid-tone, and that was what we left out on the smaller ones. Now, it's only introduced into these larger ones. So I'm only going to introduce it up here. And I'm going to have to do a quick water test on this paper. And then I'm going to go over to my... Yeah, Connie, they do. I used to love giving Jabber a bath. Light Colbert Blue, which is 661. And I'm just going to go to the edge there. So I'm going to leave a white area. So just remember, like, if you're looking at a sphere shape and you want one side dark and one side light, that's what you do. Okay, and then go over to 755. And then back over to 661. And if any of you wonder who I'm referring to when I say Oliver, Connie's got a bearded dragon, and bearded dragons are very close to my heart. Let me show you a picture very quickly. Let me just very quickly show you. I'll show you one of my favourite pictures in the world in a minute. Oh, let me grab it. Okay, so one of my favourite photos I've ever taken, is when I first got Chip. Let me quickly show you this one. And I had them at the window, and they were looking out the window watching the world go by. And this is Jabba, my bearded dragon, who's passed away now. So this is Chip as a pup and his best mate Jabba, and I'm so honestly gutted that this little man passed away, and one day I will get another one, but I'm just not ready for another one because he was honestly a character and a half, and he was the best. And these two used to sit neighborhood watching at my window, and all the time they used to sit side by side like this. This is looking out the window, and they used to sit side by side just together, just watching the world go by, and I used to love it. So I've got this up at my TV, like it's just a frame. I got this up by my TV, and every time I see it, I smile. And I love the bones off the both of them, but he is so dearly missed. Between sort of 13 and 15, and he was about 12 and a half, Christine, but absolutely love him and miss him like crazy. He was a character, I can tell you that. I loved him. Loved him. He was irreplaceable is the word. And then those of you obviously that have been around, you know my other little one. You've seen Tilly. I'll show you Tilly. So I've got a budgie that you hear in the background, and you know you don't see her often. So Rio passed away as well. So this is Tilly in the corner here. That was Rio. He's passed away now. So this is my little lady who you hear is my absolute world. I've had her now for nearly 8 years, and she's amazing. I love her. So that's also one that's out. Tilly, no, she's like a very pale blue. She's like a very pale blue. She's got so much sass, honestly. And then those of you also that have seen know my little bars. This is another frame I've got out. So it's this is Buzz, and this is one of my favourite pictures of him. It's when he was in his snuggle safe, and he was all snuggled up, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and then I just took this little picture of him, and I have this little look in my staring at me. I love him. He's so small. So like my pocket-sized pets, honestly. I love my pets to pieces. They're my kids. They are my children. They're my children. So yeah, that's my family, guys. And then you probably, I don't like showing myself too much, but this is before I lost weight, and that's Andrew. So that's me and Andrew, and that was at my best friend's wedding when I was bridesmaid. So yeah, I was a bit more brown there because I had fake tan on. So, and that's my I call him my husband. He's not my husband, as you can clearly tell, but he's like, we've been together so long, 14 years. So yeah, that's my world here, my little world. Oh yeah, so yeah, I thought I sidetracked there and showed you my whole little life. So I hope that you were okay with that. Oh, that's my life in a nutshell. Around me, that's what surrounds me, and I'm so fortunate. I love them all. Love my life, like love my family life. My family are my everything. I love them all. No, they've got like a hiss. They hiss if they're angry, but no, they're silent, Faith. Okay, so I'm going back to 162 a moment. Yeah, you know, I say this all the time. Health, family, when you get older, as a child, you don't realize these things. You don't. I don't care who anyone is. You know, when you're a child, you're just living in the here and now and what's next. Well, when you get a little bit older, you realize what is most important. And then when you look around you and you see that you've got the most important things in your life, that means everything. I know, hurry up. Yeah, they do a head bob. That's when they're angry. They hiss. They literally hiss the smallest amount if they are so threatened. I never heard Jabba say a word. Like, he didn't ever hiss at anything. Okay, and then I'm going back to 661. Yeah, Jabba was silent, and he was just amazing is the word. It is. It's so true. You realise it. Okay, and then I'm going back to my buff titanium. And I say it to everyone, you know, look after your health, because your health is your most valuable possession. And until you're in jeopardy, again, it's another thing you don't realise. Live your life. Live it. But look after it. Because seriously, you know, things can happen and it's too short. So you make sure you make the most of everything and be happy. Yeah, no, I'm the same. Oh, yeah, they're so cute. I'm just going back to my very darkest shade of 162 a moment, just to deepen that part. Right, and then we're going to get our white onto that, and then we're going to do, it is far too. Okay, so just going to put a little bit more down of that. And that is just our Posca done. Now, I just want to test it. Connie, I am working in Mysteria. Oh, there we go. Mysteria by Anastasia, Elly, Koldereva. So I'm just going to do a quick water test with you all so that we know. And this will be a good thing if you're buying the book and you don't know whether or not it's good with water. Well, we're going to find that one out. We're going to find it out right now. So I'm going to get myself the Albrecht Durers out. And oops, we're going to test it. That's all right. So if you bear with me, everyone, if you need to go and grab yourself a drink, then please do. I'm going to put this here. You'll laugh at this one. This is my new sign. So this means I'm away from the table for a minute. I just love that. Okay, I'm grabbing. Hi, Karen. I hope you're well. I'm getting the Albrecht Durers out, everyone, and I am just going to move something. So I'm just away from the table for a minute, if that. It's on Amazon. I am here, guys. I'm just moving everything away. It just means I'm not at the table for a second. I'm going to use that one and pickle sign, but that one just made me laugh. It means I'm away from the table. I'll be back soon. I'm away with the berries. Be back soon, maybe. Okay, so let me just move these, and then I'll get the Albrecht Durers and a piece of cloth. And then we've got to do those few bubbles, but I'm going to use the pro markers for them, I think, on the lady. Okay, so we've got a bit of room now. Now I can get the cloth. You need that sign on your neck. Okay. Right, hiya, Chip. Let's get the Albrecht Durers and then we can do a paper test and see how it goes. Right, where have they gone? Right, I'm back now. I've got what we needed. Now, we need to do a paper test, and I'm hoping that the paper, there's a little bit on the back or the front we can test. So I'm going to just pull, I'm going to pull you up a second. I'm just going to move this a minute. There we go. Right. So what I want to do before you're going to test any medium in any book, then you need to test it on a page that you aren't too bothered about, if there's a tester page. Now, I don't know if there's one in this book. No, there's not. So what I am going to do is do it on the very front. Now, I don't want to do on the image. So I'm going to do it in the very corner of the title page and see. Now, when you're looking at what you want to be using, I really strongly advise and suggest that you grab yourself a colour chart and you use a colour chart for reference, so you know which colours that you want to be heading, you know, towards. Now, when you're looking at water, you can use a range of blues, and you can use some of these like Colbert turquoises. You can add some greens in, you know, you can add even a light green or a phthalo green or whatever one you're sort of heading towards. But you kind of wanting to look at what's going to go suitable, what's going to look really good. Now, I would go more for a sort of this ultramarine, and you can also use a little bit like a, I'm going to say like a middle phthalo blue, and I want to add a little bit of light Colbert turquoise. So we're going to look at these types of colours. Now, just for now, I'm just going to grab 140, and we're going to test it on the very bottom corner, and I'm only doing it on this one. And oops, I've got just my Albrecht Durers in this case here, and they fold right out. So I'm going to grab the ultramarine. So we're going to go for ultramarine, light ultramarine, light. We'll go for light. And first of all, before we go putting anything down, I just want to do a little test. So I strongly advise you do this because you don't know how papers are going to react. Are they going to be like blotting paper? Are they going to soak it up? Are they going to be awful? So a good little test. You can just try it, but if you've just done your whole picture and you've left this till last, you might end up, it's not going to do it quite well. So I'm just very lightly here going to do a tester. So I've just put it in the corner. So hold on, guys. So get your brush. I'm just going to get yourself a bit of tissue, paper towel. Make sure your brush is, you know, all right. Now I'm just going to, I haven't put a lot of colour down. I just wanted to drag the pigment and see how it reacts with the water and if it goes through. Now, does it blot? Is it soaking in? Has it gone patchy? It's actually pretty good, you know, it's not too bad. I've only put the tiniest of coatings just to see if it was all right. Now, let me just take off some water. It seems to have soaked up the water pretty well. There's no bleed through and there's not a lot of buckling, and it's kept most of the pigment. It hasn't actually kept all of the pigment. It's gone quite blotchy, and that's what my test is to see. How is it going to be? Is it going to blotch? Is it going to go like blotting paper? I think we'll be okay. So we can go a little bit harder now. So come back to your paper that you're going to use it on, and I'd say first of all go light. So I'm going to bring a mixture of a few tones. And first of all, I'm just going to bring the, I'm just going to concentrate on this for a moment. So this is light ultramarine in 140, and I'm just going to go around the edge. And I'm going to put a good amount down, but I don't want a massive amount to start with because we can build on that. And don't forget, we've also got the board, which you know I use a lot. So just to start with, I'm going to bring the pigment on the paper because we can always add in. These are the Faber-Castell. These are the Faber-Castell Albrecht Durers. So I haven't actually used them on the channel yet because I love the Supra colours and I tend to like edge and lean towards them. But actually these are pretty well. I love these as well. So just starting off, I'm just going to put a little amount because we're going to put other colours in here. And I'm just going to get my board in case we need my board. So if you're aware, the Aquarelle boards are really well. They work really well. So let me get that. And we're going to mix in a range of blues and greens and turquoises. So it's not going to be one colour. And I also use, and I say to you, if you're not confident about putting, there we go. If you're not confident about putting pigment on paper, you can put pigment on these boards and then you can come to your board and mix. You know, you don't have to do it straight to paper. At this occasion, I'm going to put to paper at the moment. So just from a distance, as long as you can see what I'm doing, we are with the number 140, and 140 is this colour here. 140 is light ultramarine. And I'm going to bring in another colour in a moment, and we're going to mix in and add and do what we need to do in order to make a nice sort of marbly, glassy, watery effect with a couple of colours. There's no right and wrong to this. You do how you want. So next off, to add into that section there, before we go into the other parts, I'm going to grab myself 154. And then I'm going to grab myself 156. And I'm going to get another blue. And I think I might go for the phthalo blue. And that is 110. So I will tell you as I'm putting them on paper what one I'm using. Hi, Norma. Thank you. So we've put in number 140 so far. Now I'm going to put a little bit of 110 very lightly. We can add. So when you put down your first base of colour, it's not your permanent. You can go back in there. And we're going to hope that this paper works in our favour with water. And then I'm going to pick up the colour 156, and I'm going to put a little bit in there. So I'm going lightly on this case. And then I'm going to pick up the colour 154. So don't forget, this is not how it's going to look. We're going to do our water and then we're going to add. That's how we're going to do it. So then what we'll do is grab your paper towel, make sure it's not soaking, and you're going to drag pigment. So drag pigment up and just wipe off as you go along. Now, we're going to build up on this. We're not going to go first round. My paper is not drenched. My paper is wet but not drenched. And all I'm going to do is move the pigment around on the paper to start with. So we're just going to keep applying for now. And I'm going to bring my board in a moment. And my board is going to layer up the colour. So just the first base is not how it's going to look. This is just first round, first go. And this is just starting us off. So we're just first off adding colour down. And don't forget, like, you don't have to go with what's down on your paper to start with. You can build on it. Just wait in between. Wait for it to dry and add on top. So what then you'll do, you can bring in pigment. So we're going to get our board. And I'm going to put a bit more pigment down of the colour 156. So let's mix some of that in, you know, and do it that way. But you've got to be quite quick with pigment, otherwise it dries very quickly. So just keep layering up. So then we'll put in, just get all our colours on the board and we can mix between them. So let's pick. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to mix between our pigments. Now, don't press too hard on the paper because what you'll end up doing is peeling your paper. So wait for it to be relatively dry. Now, as I said, I haven't got a lot of water on my brush. So mine will mix in pretty, you know, pretty even. And just keep flitting between them. And what you'll end up doing is building up. And then we can always go in with pencil after when it's all dry at the end. So just keep mixing in. And don't forget, what it looks like wet is not what it looks like dry. So there is a mixture of things that you can do. And then when it is dry, we're going to come in and detail it all off with some shadowing. So I'm just in the zone for a minute, everyone. I've just got to try and get this pigment down first, because we can always add after. So it's just a case of leave it to dry. No, thank you. Yeah, at the minute, when it's wet, it doesn't reflect what it looks like when it's dry. It really doesn't. So now you can kind of just build on, but just be very careful of peeling your paper. So you can just build up. But you can also then go in darker. You know, you go with what you're comfortable doing. And I say wait for it to dry. So let me get another darker colour here. Wait for it to dry a bit. So this one is 151, because if you go in while it's wet, you can peel your paper. So wait for it to dry, see where you're at, don't peel it, and mix. So just keep going. But you've got to be very careful with how much pigment you put down. And as I said, I will dry this off for you while we're on camera. We can do this one area first before we move on. So we're going to mix in a bit more of the turquoise. But I'm going to grab my dryer now, because I can do that whilst we're sitting here. It just enables us to like move on quicker. I don't have to wait for it to dry. So just bear with that a minute. Oh, thank you. The paper's doing all right. That's what I mean. I'm not going to push it anymore, because otherwise it will start to peel. So if I dry in between, then we'll be fine. So I've got my dryer, and then we can build up a bit more pigment and keep going, and then we'll make a glaze. You've got different watercolors you can put a glaze on top with. So it all depends on what we're going to do. So let me just bear with me, everyone. I'm using my handy little extender socket thing at the minute. So we can dry this off. Yeah, they really do. That's why it's good to, sorry about shaking the camera. It's good to dry it off in between, so that you know what it's looking like. If you don't dry it, you're not going to have a good sort of idea on where you're going to be. So if I turn this a minute, can you see like the turquoise and stuff in there? And you will get that in there, but I want a little bit more. So dry it in between. Don't go in with too many, because you're going to peel this paper like a bad boy, and it's just going to peel like mad. So dry, make sure it's nice and dry. I'd say do your little section first, and then we can add pencil shading and add the shadows and do all of that. So again, I'm going to go in with a little bit more of like a greeny turquoisey colour. So I'm going to bring in the colour. I'm going to bring in the colour 162. See, so you get a good idea of what it's going to look like. Hey, Michelle. So I love this Caran dashboard. Yeah, great. They're great. This is just the Caran dash one, the Aquarelle Caran dashboard. Again, I will put in the description after, I will put what I'm using. So I'm just dabbing in the colour 162. This is the Albrecht Durers, and I am just going with what I want by eye. You don't have to go with me on this. This is just how I want by eye. So dry in between, because you will peel the paper, and now you can wipe off and bring in some light blue. And the good thing is that there is no right and wrong with watercolor. There really isn't. So when you wipe off, you take off some pigment off the brush. It gives you a little bit more blendability on what you're going to be doing. So this is not giving you a good sort of idea of how deep the colours actually are. I don't know if it makes a difference from a distance. Hold on, guys. Let me just see. Bear with me. You kind of get an idea. There we go. All right. So I'm putting a little bit more of the colour 140. So you need a little bit more pigment. So also spread that out. And the good thing with watercolours is, as I said, when it's wet, it looks different. When it's dry, actually, like Christine said, it dries a lot paler. So just flip between what you want this to look like and drag pigment out. That sounded really, really, really like firm. Out. Hi, Candy. So drag pigment outwards and it should work in your favour. So I'm just got the colour. I will give you the colours. I will repeat my colours in a minute. So I want a little bit more green. And I'm just blotching in where I would like certain colours to be. And then at the very end, we're going to go over the glaze. So we'll just do that. So I'm going to... Oh, sorry, Mum. I don't know why it's buffering so much, everyone, today. It's all right, my end. So I'm just happily drying in between. So dry in between so it doesn't peel. Oh, thank you, Sam. Hi, Sam. Good to see you. Okay, so we're nearly getting there with how you just got to dry it off in between. And the annoying thing is it will make your paper buckle a little bit. And then I'm going to get a... What colour do I want? I need a shading pencil in a minute. Okay. Is that dry? Yeah. Right, and then just on like there, I don't really want to get any other colour. So I'm going to get Payne's Grey, and I'm just going to use the Albrecht Durers there. So this is Payne's Grey 181. I'm just going to zoom you in a little bit. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a shade around the edging. And all I'm going to do is just kind of shade it up a bit. So underneath her chin, I'm only going with the Albrecht. I'm not adding any more sort of wet to this a second. I just want to add a bit of definition. So just around her chin and here. But I'm going to go over pen after. Now I'm going to have to just dab that in. I'm going to do it carefully. It's just to add a little bit of depth underneath where I want shadows to be. But you've got to wipe off in between, everyone. Don't not wipe, because what will end up happening is you won't have that shadow that you're looking for. So let it dry. It just deepens it up a bit. Just nicely for me. So that is all I'm going to do for that bit, because I don't actually want to add anything too bright or too fancy. What I might do, you can also, just another tip, so this is just the 162. Be very careful, but you can just take it from the tip and add in that way and like dab it in and sort of drag pigment out. So you can do it that way as well. You know, there's a couple of ways that you can add pigment in. You could do it from a board, you could do it direct on paper, and then you can do it from tip to brush and then brush to paper. So just a good little arrangement of how to do it. Now when that dries, it will really dry lovely. It really will. So just, I'm just going to dry it off a little bit. Now be careful when you're drying. Don't burn your paper. Pull it away. We're going to do the bottom section here first. And at the very last details, we're going to put in shading and the glaze. So just a second, you know these bubbles here that we didn't do? I'm just going to grab a pro marker. So in the pro markers, I've got two colours I could use. So I can use the Midnight Blue a little. No. I'm just going to use a pro marker in Cool Aqua. So you know we had these little bubbles here. Thank you. This is just to go over. So this is the Cool Aqua. I'm just going over here. And then we've got, oh, I've got to find it. Thank you. She is quite bright, but we'll tone that down after. So I'm going to grab the Midnight Blue as well. Just go around slightly. Okay. I'm just going around those bubbles with Midnight Blue. And then go back in a little bit with Cool Aqua while it's still wet, and you can blend that in. Oh, that blended in so well, guys. They've worked really nice together, the pro markers. Hi, May. I hope you enjoyed your shopping trip. Okay, so let's get back to, we may as well. So I'm going to work from, actually I'm going to work from top to bottom, because then I'm not dragging my hand in the pigment. Okay, so I'm going to go straight in there with my ultramarine, light ultramarine 140. So we're going to go in with 140 first. So you don't have to be neat at this point because you're just putting pigment to paper, but you are, however, putting where you want your colours to go. This, I'm not a professional. I'm just telling you how I'm doing it, that's all. So I'm going to go around the edge here and put the pigment in. You could be really as rough as you want. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So we're going to put, this is, see how they stand out still, the bubbles, which is really nice. And around the edge, I'm going to go with white very last. Okay, this is 140 still. I've not changed. So I'm just putting where I want this colour to be. And I'm going to put some here as well. So my aim is to finish this with you today. And then, as I said, I'm going to try get on Thursday, depending on all the appointments that's this week, guys. So I've got hospital as well for pain. So that's on Friday, but Thursday, I'm sure we've got something. I can't think. I know it's an appointment of some kind. So if I'm not here Thursday, I'm not going to say Thursday. If I do come on Thursday, it will be because I can be here. If not, it is Saturday for sure. I'm here and we're doing grey hair. Next Tuesday, we're going to do a marker stream. I will announce the giveaway for this month. So that's going to be the weekend. It will either be Thursday or Saturday. I'm going to say Saturday because we get most people in on the stream so they can take part. This particular giveaway is going to be a live stream one where you enter on stream and the winner is whoever's here. I've done the last few where I've, done them as an upload, but this one is going to be in stream. It is open internationally. My words just jumbled up then. It's an international giveaway, so you can enter wherever you are in the world. There is one entry per person only. It will be the person closest to the number without going over. And if 2 people say the same number, it will be the first person to have got that number. So that is how it works on stream. That will be on Saturday. The one after will be one that you can comment on an uploaded video. So every few, I'm going to do it as a live stream one. And every other one will be you comment and it will be the upload. Thank you. Oh, Faye. So now, before I move down, I'm going to put in a little bit of 156. So the colour we just used was 140. And now we're on number 156. And don't forget, the pigment is a lot paler when it dries. So don't be afraid to put some on the page. And also, we've got the Instagram colour along at the minute, Magical Markover Month. So if you've got all your Markover books for Christmas, you can join in over on Instagram and do a for January. And I will be reposting a big session tonight as well of the Clara Markover pictures. So if you're done for the month, you can enter it in for the Markover, Magical Markover Month. Ah. Oh, that's nice to do though. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my 162. So I'm mixing between all of them, and any more pigment that I want to put on the paper, don't forget I'm going to grab my board. So I'm going to put a little bit more of a heavier influence of green down here, because you know, like as you go down and you're heading towards the, I'll get my words out. I will get my words out. I promise you I'll get my words out. As you're heading towards the seaweed, it's like a little bit more of a green influence as you're coming down with, in my mind. So we're going to have that nice green influence coming up from the seaweed. And then as we move on up, we'll head up to more turquoisey blues. And then I'm going to put a little bit of the heavier. Christina, hi, sweetheart. Thank you, Ashley. You take care. We are using that just for the background. We're using the Albrecht Durer, the Faber-Castell Albrecht Durer. So they're the watercolor pencils. Watercolor pencils. So at the minute, our reference is these blues and these greens. So we're looking at a mixture of these colors and what we can put onto paper to make the background. Okay, so now I'm going to get a little bit darker down here, and this is going to be 151. So I'm going to be a little bit more generous on where I'm putting dark. So the depths of the ocean, the depths of the ocean. How are you, May? How's your needle felting coming on? And your Jasmine Beckett picture was beautiful. I watched that back. Your Caran marker one that I watched. Come out gorgeous. Really beautiful. They look pretty cool. Very much up your alley. Okay, so I'm just putting down the 151. I will repeat all of these in the description, what we used for the seaweed and what we used for the background. I will list them in the description half an hour after the stream. I will link in the board and I will link in the pencils that we have used. I'll wait to see them. I'm looking forward to seeing them. Okay, so what I need to link all that stuff in the description for you all. I'm just putting a little bit deeper. I will add a little bit of grey in the bottom after. But at the minute, I'm just focusing on what's the deepest colours and what I need to put on paper. So there isn't a method to this. You kind of go with your eye. And then I'm going to go back to my 140. It's sort of intuition on this. Like, where do you want light and dark? Where do you want colours to go? And put it down, and then we get the water onto it. Hi, Modja. And then I'm going to go over to my Colbert green, which is 156. And I'm going to add a little bit of that into here as well. So just mix them all up. Have a good little go with them. They are just so much fun. And then it changes up as soon as you put that water to it. And it's just like magic. It's like, what happens now? Just magic happens. What colours and water and art materials can create are just crazy. I just love it all. I'm just like, whoa, let's have fun. Okay, and then I'm going to go to a very light blue, which is 154. And I'm just going to add that into all the little spare spaces that we've got going on. So any little spaces that's still there, fill them in, go for it, and just add in. Okay, so I think we've got the pigment down. Now what you can do is have this ready. So have all your colours on the page, on the board. So I've put down 154. Just have them all ready at the side. 140. I'm going to put that back up there. 151. 162. 156. So have those on your board ready. Okay, grab your paper towel. Grab your water brush. Okay. And now you can work. I'm going to work top to bottom. The reason I say top to bottom is because you're not dragging your arm through it. Because if you're going up, you're going to be dragging your arm through the wet. Now you can start to. I'm going to just 1 minute. Let me get a binder clip. Hold on, so that I can hold this all together. Oh, thank you, Annette. Yes, you can. Of course you can. You could do anything. I say that to everyone. Just practice and I'm sure you will achieve what you are after. I love this part of art. It's just, I just love seeing it all come to life. Right. So I'm just getting some binder clips so that the paper doesn't move for me. It stays in place. Okay, so now I'm going to get myself my brush. It's damp, it's not soaking. And now you start to move the pigment around. Now, as I say, this is going to be pale on first go, but that's fine because we can build up. That's what our board's there for. So just move your pigment around. How you want it out on your picture is entirely up to you. This is at your discretion. So how much, you want on paper, how little you want on paper, what colours you want together. This is up to you entirely. The good thing is that you can play and have fun. So I'm just wiping in between and I'm moving the pigment around. So you can merge colours together, which is what I'm doing. And as I said to you, I am not in any way professional at this. I just do what my eye wants me to do. So what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking will go is what I'm going to do. I just go by eye. So now, like up the top, I'm going to get my board a minute and I just want to drag a little bit more of the colour. Which one's this? This one is 162 and I just want to bring a touch more of that in there. So this is where your board will come in so handy. So just drag a bit more pigment and then I'm going to go over to my board again and get 140 and I'm going to drag a bit more of that in and that's how I'm going to play it. That's why my board's there at the ready. It's there for me to play with. The paper's doing fine. The paper's doing fine. It's holding up. It's not buckling. I will tell you exactly what the finished result is like. But don't oversaturate your paper. Wait in between, and we're going to dry in between as well. So I'm just doing this first round before we go in with any more. So I'm going to grab a little bit more of my dark. I'm going to bring that in a little bit. Drag off. Wipe off. And just keep going. And the good thing is, when you're putting colour down on paper, it doesn't have to be how your final result's going to be. So once you've done one round, dry it. Handy little tool to have is a dryer, or if you've got the patience and time, leave it to dry overnight or a few hours and come back. You can get like a craft dryer tool. This one, the one that I've got, was sent to me. It's a Ranger dryer, hand craft dryer. It dries all your projects really quickly for you, so you can come back and, you know, do it straight away as opposed to waiting. So you still with the ride, guys. I know I've been on a long time. I'm so sorry, but I really want to finish this up with you today so that you've got this, you know, all done and completed. So I'm going to bring some turquoise colour off my brush. And I'm going to add it in here. Bring some of the darker blue, and again, you just mix in. You drag the pigment around, and I'm wiping in between. As long as you can see my process, you know, that's all I'm worried about, is that you can see what I'm doing and that I'm making sense along the way. So just drag pigment. Then I'm going to get some of my turquoise. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to get some turquoise in the corner, and I'm going to bring some of that in here. Drag it, wipe, drag. Now, as I said to you, mine is not overly saturated soaked. It is wet, but it's not soaked. And that's a good thing, so that I've got more of playroom with this, so that I'm not peeling my paper. If you overly saturate your brush, you're going to have a bit of peeling, and you're going to press too hard, and it's going to be waterlogged. Now, you can put a little bit more water than what I've got, but I just say go in lightly. You can always layer up. It's very hard to take away, easy to add. So just in between, we've got a heavy influence of green coming down here, so you can add some more as you're coming up. Just keep dragging that pigment, guys. Just don't be afraid to do it. But I am going to dry that little bit so we're not saturating the page. And I will show you, you know, how much of a buckle there is, but you can hold the paper. Thank you, Louise. And we will make it a bit more bright and vivid. Oh, you can hear her. Yeah, she's just woken up. She's like, hi. Hi, Till. You say hello. He's like, yes, I'm here. Yes. Yes, you're there. We hear you. Yeah. Right. So I'm going to drag. I'm going to put this. I'm going to have this here so you can see. So this is the darkest here, yeah? I'm going to put that in the corner so you can see what I'm doing. So the darkest, I'm going to have that. As long as you can see my process, I'm going to have the darkest in the corner here. I'm going to drag a bit more of the turquoisey colours. You've got to be quick though, because if it dries how you've just done that big streak. So be quite quick with working with these before it dries, so that it doesn't dry all funny, and then you've got your result that you're sort of looking for. And drag the pigment quick. So a bit like markers, not the Copics. I'm not going to say it's comparable to Copics, but you know, like your other alcohol markers that you need to blend, you want them wet, don't you? You kind of want this wet as well. Take care, Shirley. Thanks for joining. Have a good evening or a day. It's going to be, what's time? What's the time here? Time is 7:10. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's fine. Keep going till I am done. Okay, so just again, I want some more water on that actually. I've not got enough. So this is quite pale. So I don't want, actually, I want pale sections. So I'm going to come to these two colours here. I'm just going to drag some of that. So we just keep with it. So these are the Albrecht Durers, and as I said, anything that you want me to link in the description, do let me know. I will link all the colours that we've used for the water and for the Copics. And I will link the products that we're using as well. So all these different mediums take some time to get used to and take some time to learn in, and it, you know, it's no rush. You can have fun and take your time with the process, and it'll work out in the end. Promise you. Promise you. So if you haven't got the confidence to try mediums yet, then don't worry, it will come. So I'm just going to grab a few different colours here and sort of drag the colour outwards. Same there, I'm going to drag a little bit there and pull the colour out, pull it out so that it's slightly underneath. Now I want the middle of it oh, I missed someone coming in. Anyone that comes in, I do apologise for not seeing you, and a big hi. I know, coming soon. I've got quite a few things. Right, so we're going to drag. It's my favourite to go to, so I'm always happy to go to Serene. Always. Always. My favourite colouring book in the world. But yeah, I've got a few more bits first, and then we'll head over there anyway. So I'm just pulling the darker blue pigment in there. Okay, and then same with this part. Just I'm sort of mixing the colours together now. So you've got a lot of greens here. We're going to drag a bit more of the green. So you've got the blues here. Right, my brush is quite dry now, so I need to wet it a bit more. So I just have to work quickly. So I'm not in chat for a minute, but I will be shortly. So you've got a few bubbles there. Don't forget about them. And we'll dry it off and we'll add all our finishing touches to it. Any shading and our sheen. We're going to get the glitter paints on it as well. Just give it a little bit of a sheen. Okay, so this part here is quite deep, so we want to keep that because it's the depths. Okay, are you still? Oh, sorry, guys. You think you will revisit this? It is on my agenda. It's just I am not feeling it yet. Take care, Christine. But I promise you, it is on my agenda. My mum is nagging the hell out of me for that one, but I will try soon. I'm just not feeling him yet. But when I do feel him, I will definitely get back to him. He is on my whips pile of things to do on the channel. Good old turtle is like the bane of my life at the moment because he keeps telling me, colour me. And I'm like, oh, I know. Kimberly, honestly, it's one that is just the bane of my life at the minute. It's like, colour me. But I'm just not feeling you. Okay, so I'm getting some of this green. Now the green that I've got is the light phthalo green in 162, and I'm putting quite a fair amount down. I'm pulling them along like the green. Can you see? As long as it's good in your screen. I did. The watercolours, Louise, are the Albrecht Durers, and I'll tell you the colours that we've got here. So the colours that I am flitting between are quite a little selection. So we've got the phthalo blue 110, cobalt blue 156, the helio blue reddish 151, the light cobalt turquoise 154, light ultramarine in 140, and the light phthalo green in 162. No, yet. Yet. He will soon. He will get done. It's just not yet. But my mum's here, Susan Wilkes, in chat. is waiting because she has followed me up to that point, and she's like, excuse me, daughter of mine, when in the heck are you going to get back to this blooming turtle so that mummy can finish it? And I'm like, yes, mum. You still got her answer to mum. You know, I moved out of home a long time ago. She's still telling me off about it. Okay, so I've just got the very dark blue. And I'm just putting that in the depths. I'm going to wipe off and I'm going to dry off in a minute. Oh, excusez-moi. I know. Yeah, when I'm gone, it'll take another year. You have to fill the picture. I know. I don't know why I didn't feel it. I think maybe I need to just have a good stare down at him. Does anyone else do that? You stare at your picture and like you have to sort of give it a good look about what you're going to do with it. It's the staring game. I know KP and Francis know what I'm on about with that one. It's the stare game. You stare at it for a long time and it has to talk to you. It has to talk to you. Okay, so I'm doing some of that dark blue, and the dark blue, as I said, is the 151. I'm just kind of planting that in. So let me just dry that off a little bit, everyone, and then we'll do the details. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, I did see that, Dash. I did. It's looking great. It's looking great. So just dry that off a bit. So if I turn that like that way, you can see the different colours a little bit better. So it is coming along. And then we'll put some shade in and stuff. I might actually leave it as it is without any glaze. I think it's looking fine as it is. I'm going to have a little look what the glaze will look like over it on a test sheet paper. Thank you, lovely. Right, and now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to see where I want touches of the green to go. So just on this bit, the green and the light ultramarine. So the numbers that I'm just going to go with now are 162 and 140. So on my board, it's these two colours. Thank you. So what I want to do now, just very briefly, is paddle in there. Do you like that terminology? Paddle in there with the ultramarine and the green and add them where I see fit. So just mostly the greens is around the seaweed, like a glow, I suppose I'm trying to create. Mum, I'll get there, I promise you. It's going to take time. The turtle's just, yeah, Mum. The turtle's telling me off. Okay, so I'm just putting the green around the green. I'm going to mix two a minute and just see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm just mixing the green in with the Colbert green and adding that. I'm going to do some ultramarine. I'm just going between, making sure. Now, quite like the result of that. That's come out all right. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Right, I'm really happy with how that came out. Oh, thanks, Becky. Take care and thanks for joining us. Have a good evening. Right, so I'm going to just stop for a minute while I'm just going to stare at the picture and see what needs to be done. Now, what I think I'm going to do, let me dry it off first. Let's dry off a bit. So just make sure your page is nice and dry. Okay. Now, when you're doing this drying bit, be careful not to like hold it on one area too long because you'll burn your page. So just dab it, make sure. Lovely jubbly. Now I'm going to get myself a Prismacolor. Actually, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to get my Albrecht Durer. I'm not actually. Thank you, Pamela. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to put any glazes on it because I just, for now, I actually really like how it's, you know, turned out. So just in my Albrecht Durer, I'm not going to add any more water to this. I'm going to pick up the colour Payne's Grey and Black, and we're just going to add any detailing and final detail shading that we need to add in. So this is your final step. So with my black, I'm just going to go very, very minimal touch, if you like, just to put a little bit of shadowing where I see fit. So I'm not going too much. So this is more in the depths. I'm doing this because for me, the deeper it goes, the darker it gets in the ocean. So I'm kind of just, I'm looking at it that way. Oh, 1 minute, everyone. Bear with me. 1 second. 1 second. Hi. Do you want to come and say hello? Hey. Come and say hello. Hi, I didn't know you were up. Come and say hello. 1 minute, everyone. We've got a visitor. We've got a visitor. He's woken up. He's woken up. 1 minute, because we've got to finish up these touches. But we have got a friend who wanted to come and say hello. Oh. Hey. Hi. Say hello. 1 minute. Oh. Say hi, Buzz. Hello, mate. You have to come on the screen and say hi. Someone's woken. Someone's woken up. I know, he's so cute. He's woken up. I just heard him. I saw him at the door and I was like, oh, hello. You're here. Hey. I said hello. Hi, baby. Hello, gorgeous. You're so handsome, aren't you? You're such a handsome little devil. Yeah. I thought you might want to say hello because he was up, so I thought, oh well, come and say hello then. Hello. Oh, I'm so sorry. How dare I hold you up to the screen? How dare I? I know that nose doesn't stop. Say hey. Okay, so I'm going to put him away. Why do I have a hedgehog? Because he's my pet. Because I love him. And, you know, these ones are not legal. They're not wild hedgehogs. They're pet ones. And I really always loved him. Loved him. Hello, I'm putting you back now. So you say bye. Say bye, everyone. Go on then, go and eat. Bye, little munchkin. Love you. Okay. He's so adorable. Okay, now we're going to finish off this page. We are finishing it up because we're nearly there. Right, we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready to do the final touches? You're probably like, yes, Sam, I was ready yesterday. You're taking forever. Okay, so I am. Chip likes him. Take care, Kim. But the Buzz doesn't like Chip. So Chip's like, hello, I want to play. And then Buzz is just like, nope, get away. So their relationship's quite funny, actually. Buzz is just solitary, doesn't like any other animal, whereas Chip wants to play with him like he loved Jabba. I'm just with my black. You can get any black, guys. And I'm just putting in any shadows underneath things. Yeah, with Chip, he doesn't like other dogs much. He feels threatened because he's small. But with Buzz and Tilly and Jabba at the time, he loves them. You know, he loves them. He wants to play with them, but they all just want to do their own thing away from Chip. I think Chip's quite an intimidating force. Ah, thank you. Oh. Yeah, Buzz is just like, I want to go back to bed. Even though he was up eating, that's what made me look over. I thought, wait a minute, I thought I heard him then, and I did. I looked up and I could see his little nose in his bowl, and I thought, oh, hello, there you are. And I thought, okay, let me go and show, you know, his little face, because you haven't seen him in a while, have you? So, right, all I'm doing on this bit, everyone, is getting my black, and I'm just shading around a few areas that I think needs a bit of shading, just to sort of bring it all out. Take care, Nichols. Take care. Yeah, see you next time, hopefully. So finishing touches is just your details. It's your shading, it's your shadows, it's your any white areas, any, you know, black that you need to add, any details that you want to add. You can add, you know, if you wanted to do some fish scales down here, if you want to do anything, this is your time. So I'm just going to, underneath here, I'm going to add a little bit of black there as well. And the same with sort of by the arm. So don't be afraid, this is very lightly applied. And I am really happy overall with the picture, because I think it's come out all right. I think it's actually turned out okay. So I'm happy with it, and I hope you are too. So what I thought about doing is like a giant bubble. I'm going to, thank you very much. What I'm going to do, just on some of it, I'm going to get my white Posca. I'm just going to go round some, if it will happen for me. Hold on. Ah, thank you. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, Karen, really. So, oh, it's not going to work. I thought it would, but for some reason it's not. Maybe I need a thicker Posca. Hold on. I just wanted to do like a giant. There we go. So just not over the whole thing. So just, you know how you would if you had a giant bubble. So I'm just doing parts of it. So I've got quite a thick Posca here. So I'm not going to do it at the bottom because the bottom's deep. And then, oh, all I'm going to do is at the very bottom now, just deepen up this shading. So I'm just with my black. Don't worry about a bit of texture because it's water that you've put on the paper. So there's going to be a bit of texture in your black. And that's fine. So just put in a little bit of shading around the bottom. And I think I'm pretty happy. Okay, bye, Mum. Thank you, Mia Bear. Yeah, I might go around the whole thing. I might wait and see about that though, because you know, in the back of your mind, you're not quite sure. Right, so then final finishing touches is with black. So I've still got my black. I just want to, you know, these like hairs that have come here, I just want to add them back in. So they were taken out slightly, but I just want to redefine them. So you can do this with a micro pen after, but I just want to do them with a pencil first. And this just enables me to know where I'm going with it. So then you can grab your fine liner, but you have to be really, really careful at this point. So I'm just going to turn the page a minute. And I'm only going to add them slightly. Now this is a 0.3. So I'm being careful. Just be very careful how you add them in. And it's just to define those edges. And that, my friends and useful people, is Zidane. Hi, Kim. So let me zoom out. We have finished, and I will tell you what the paper's held up like. We have finished our Mysteria picture. Now, paper-wise, let me quickly tell you. You can hear there is a buckle. It's not over buckling. Look, it is. Let me turn it this way. Can you see there's a slight buckle? Can you see it that way? Very slight. But when you keep that closed, when it's all dry, it is going to just stay nice and flat. I know, I like that. It's like a... We could just... It's like, what's they call it? Like therapy, isn't it? Woohoo! So, yeah, I am pretty happy with how she turns out in the end. So I don't know if I need to brighten my screen for you all. Hold on. Yeah, it's this. Why are we such like... People think we're crazy, bonkers, mad. ASMR, that's what I was looking for. That sound, and we're all like, go crazy over it. But still, that's how it is. I know. Things that make us colorists and art people and crafty people happy. I'm done on her. I'm very happy with how she turned out. I am going to list, let me write them all down for you. So what do I need to list in the description? And I shall. I need to list the colours of the water. So colours of water. So, and then you want the colours of the seaweed. The board. Do you want me to list the board? The zig detailer. The products, the book's already in there. I've put the book already in it. So anything else? Really? It's your favourite? Yeah, in your journal. Maybe we should just make a book of like crinkly paper so we can just come on screen and go, hear that? Thank you so much, everyone. So I will see if I'm not here Thursday. I'm not gonna give you Thursday for definite because I don't know quite yet with appointments, etc. But Saturday, without fail, I'm gonna be here. Look out on Thursday. I might be here. Oh, have fun, Kenny. All right, you all take care then. Thank you so much for the super chat, Connie. I did not expect it, so thank you so much. You all have an amazing day and evening wherever you are in the world. Dache, big hugs to you, sweetheart. Go and get yourself better. And those of you that need the wishes, big get well wishes to you all. I'll see you on my next stream. And until then, you take care, everyone.